Happy Sunday and welcome once again into the conversation. 7th April 2024. Still waiting for one of my platform. Not sure what is going on. Moki Wugwalen can say very good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. As we prepare for the program, I want us to settle in and remember to share the program as well and invite your friends and family to join us from wherever they are. Inini Sunday is a beautiful one, and we give thanks to the gods of the Yoruba land for staying with us as we continue to explain the reasons why we want to leave Nigeria to many of our people around the world. So mo kí wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa. Having problem with one of my platforms. But while we are waiting, let's us just kickstart something slowly, and then we can go into the program as much as we can. Okay, we'll go the Yoruba people have made up their mind to exit Nigeria, and nothing can change that. We want to go, and that's it. We just want to go. We have no business to try to fix Nigeria. Our business now is to prepare our mind for something much greater and much better. Moki Professor Adebanji Akitoye, the leader of the Yoruba Self-Determination. Moki the YSDM. Moki Gbogbo organization. Moki the deputy chairman of the YSDM, Ọ̀túnba Adébáyọ̀. Moki Gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n darí YSDM. Moki Gbogbo àwọn platforms tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ láti rí pé kíran Yorùbá kó bọ́. Moki mega rally rather. Moki àwọn tí wọ́n tò ètò ní different parts around the world láti rí pé kíran Yorùbá lè ní freedom, láti lè ní our own independent country. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá ò mọ understanding tó ń pè ní Nigeria. So when they tell you pé ká pray for Nigeria, a ní lè blame wọn púpọ̀ torí pé in tí gbogbo wa náà ti mọ̀ for a very long time ní Nigeria. It is only of recent that understanding Nigeria ṣe wá ń yé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa. So táwọn kan bá ní ká save Nigeria, ẹ má blame wọn púpọ̀. Understanding yẹn kò yé wọn púpọ̀ ni. And this is where we come in. Láti ṣàlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ fún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tí Nàìjíríà ò yé. Nígbà kan náà Nàìjíríà ò yé àwa náà. Gbogbo mind wa ni pé ká fix the country wa, ká make country wa a great place. But now àti wá rí pé kò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú kíyàn sọ pé òun hate the country because Nigeria kì í ṣe country. Bóun ẹ̀ kò believe, bóun ẹ̀ kò má believe, I don't have to argue with you. But àwọn tó mọ̀ pé Nigeria kì í ṣe country mọ̀ pé kò ń ṣe country. Torí tó ń pè ní country ni àwọn tó ń sọ èdè kan náà tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ ẹ̀yà kan náà. Àwọ̀ kì í ṣe lédè kan náà, a dẹ̀ ń ṣe ẹlẹ́yà kan náà. Mo kí Central Office, mo kí Ìfẹ́lódùn, mo kí gbogbo àwọn àgbàlagbà tí wọ́n wà nínú Yorùbá Nation. Àwọn kan lè máa ní Yorùbá Nation wọn ni wọ́n ń ṣe, ọmọ Yorùbá ni wọ́n, à ní láti blame wọn. Mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ, mo kí gbogbo àwọn alásàlátù káàkiri, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí gbogbo àwọn Kristẹni. A wà nínú danger but ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní àsí nínú danger torí pé wọn ò lè rí danger yẹn physically. Àwọn kan ti rí danger yẹn physically àti spiritually, and that is the reason why tí àwa kan ṣe dìde pé kó tó di pé danger yẹn máa bá wa lójijì ká tètè kégbe síta kó má di pé nígbà tó bá dé á ti wà too late. Kò ń ṣe dandan ni kí wọ́n accept, ìyẹn Ọlọ́run ṣe fún gbogbo wa nílàákàyè. Ìyẹn ò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹni tó ń ṣèjọba lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tó ń jẹ́ Tinubu. Ìyẹn ò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú àwọn governors wa, but ó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ìran wa tí ó wà nínú danger. Mo kí gbogbo yín bẹ ṣe ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, ẹ bá wa pín ètò yẹn bẹ ṣe ń wọlé. Mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé thank you so much, Valentina Chijoke. Only we don't hear Yoruba, but just want to appreciate your resilience. Keep up the good work. And we say thank you so much to our Biafra brothers and sisters. And like I always say, I will stand shoulder to shoulder with Simon Ekpa and all the good team of Biafra that are working tirelessly, even if some Yoruba disagree with that. I believe that we can create two nations that can compete in technology, in security, and we can form alliance for the future terrorists in Nigeria, which is what I'm going to be talking about today. So please share the program. So yes, we do speak English, and sometimes I do speak Yoruba to get the message across. So once again, my Biafra brothers and sisters, for as we are preparing for the afternoon, London, Amazon van Colon Lawyer, that's a driver that is working on a Sunday. He has to feed the family. The weather is windy, but it's okay because the weather is also changing and the sun is coming out. Shout out to every one of you. Please share the program. Very, very important so that we can get as many people in. Only phone me continuing one in later on do a son. All of a sudden, after like over a month plus, phone here surface better, and that is the one we are using on Koikimedia. So I'm very grateful that we were able to find the phone. It got lost in the house, but because of the dedication of the children and myself, we were looking for it. I looked almost everywhere and I gave up. But yesterday, my children said, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy, we found out your phone," you know, and I was so excited. And one day I know that as my children understand what I do, each time I'm about to do my program, they say, "Daddy, are you going to do your program now? Yoruba Nation?" I say, "Yes." So that for me is an inspiration alone. The spring is coming out. You cannot see my back. It's becoming more greener, and I can see all the trees that have been dead during the winter. They are rising up. The Yoruba land is a beautiful place. Likewise, the southeast, even the Hausa, the northern part of Nigeria is a beautiful place, the middle belt. But there's just one thing that is not working, and that is the unity that we are trying to force on each other. As soon as we understand that we will have other ethnic indigenous people living with us, even some Fulanis will still live with us, just like I live with Somalians, Pakistan, and the English. And like I always say, this is the platform, Mukiyami First Bank, Eshegonima. This is the platform that I take you around what is happening. I was watching as my wife and myself were discussing. I'll be telling you some of the dangerous place to live in UK. It's called Middlesbrough. Very much she need dangerous place in Nigeria. I not need dangerous place. Middlesbrough is a dangerous place to live as a family. One ta cocaine, that one ta ibon, one ta drugs. And the reason why it's happening is because a lot of funding is not going into that community anymore. And when I was watching those videos, I was saying to myself, TUK need this kind of problem, even as we call it Great Kingdom, United Kingdom. what is happening in the territory of Yoruba land, the southeast, the north, will be worst within the next 5-6 decades. We pray that we will all have a long life, but life will be cut short at some point. People will die, people will be born. That is just the way life is. But we all pray for a long life. So let's start with this, and then we kickstart the program.
Oh yeah! Tá a bá ṣe lóore ọpẹ́ là ń dá. Gbogbo àwa Yorùbá Nation Youth website bẹ́ẹ̀ àkóso olórí ọ̀dọ́ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá káfàtà. Prophet Ayọ̀délé Ológunlolúwa àti Comrade Ọ̀mẹ́yọ̀ Homeland Youth Leader Comrade Ọmọboríowó Assistant Diaspora Youth Leader Comrade Yagboyaju Yorùbá Nation Youth Technical Director. Fi dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo lókọ̀lókọ̀ ọ̀tọ̀kùnlú ọmọ Yorùbá pátápátá tó wá síbi ìfilọ́lẹ̀ àtẹ Yorùbá Nation Youth website ṣe àdúpẹ́. Ẹ̀yin bàbá pátápátá ṣe àdúpẹ́. Ẹ̀yin màmá pátápátá ẹ ṣé àdúpẹ́. Ẹ̀gbọ́n ọ̀rẹ́ àti àbúrò gbogbo ẹ ṣé àdúpẹ́. Ó wáyá wà yìí o láti jàǹfààní ọ̀kan ọ̀jọ̀kan àwọn àlàkalẹ̀ ètò amáyédẹrùn gbogbo. Gẹ́gẹ́ bá a ti ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ síwájú bí ètò ìkọ́ṣẹ́ ọ̀fẹ́. Ìrànwọ́ fún àwọn ọmọléèwé tó kù díẹ̀ fún láwùjọ. Àkànṣe ètò ìrànwọ́ fún àwọn oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ àti oníṣòwò gbogbo. Ètò ìfanilọ́wọ́sókè fún àwọn tálẹ̀ǹtì wa gbogbo. Àgbékalẹ̀ ètò ìrànwọ́ fún àwọn àgbẹ̀ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ṣé ẹ fẹ́ gbọ́? Abala mẹ́ta àrà ọ̀tọ̀ ní ìpele àkọ́kọ́ tí yóò wáyé nínú oṣù kẹrin pín sí. Abala alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ wà fún àwọn tó fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀, ọ̀gbìn àti ohun ọ̀sìn gbogbo. Níbi tá a ti máa ṣèdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ fún wọn. Nípasẹ̀ tí wọ́n bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí, tí a ó sì tún máa fún wọn ní ilẹ̀ àti owó péréte láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ tí wọ́n kọ́ lẹ́yìn ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọn. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì ẹ̀wẹ̀ ló wà fún àwọn tó fẹ́ nímọ̀ nípa drone. Níbi tí wọ́n ti máa jàǹfààní ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ nípa bá a ṣe ń ṣe àti bá a ṣe ń lo drone. Tá a ó sì ti máa fún wọn ní drone kọ̀ọ̀kan lẹ́yìn ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ yìí. Abala ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta ló wà fún àwọn tó fẹ́ nímọ̀ nípa ICT, ìmọ̀ nípa kọ̀ǹpútà. Táwọn náà ó sì máa jàǹfààní ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ọ̀fẹ́. Tá a ó ti máa fún wọn ní kọ̀ǹpútà kọ̀ọ̀kan lọ́gán tí ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọn bá ti parí. Gbogbo ẹ̀ àti iṣẹ́ kíkọ́ àti ètò ìrànwọ́ tá a fẹ́ ṣe fún gbogbo wa ọ̀fẹ́ ló bá dé. Ohun tẹ́ ẹ nílò ní kẹ́ lọ forúkọ sílẹ̀ tó bá di 20 oṣù kẹrin gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Yorùbá tòótọ́. Ẹ má gbàgbé wípé lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára Zoom ní ètò ìforúkọsílẹ̀ yóò ti máa wáyé bẹ̀rẹ̀ látago 11 America Eastern Time tó jẹ́ aago 4 ìrọ̀lẹ́ láago ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tíá. Meeting ID 847-451-50759 nígbà tí passcode sì jẹ́ 111323. Bákan náà láti ní ká sọ fún yín wípé kẹ́ má gbàgbé wípé a nílò aṣojú ní gbogbo orílẹ̀-èdè àgbáyé lẹ́ni tó bá jẹ́ olóòótọ́ tó sì ti lè fara fọkàn sí orílẹ̀-èdè ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé síwájú sí i tàbí tẹ́yìn pàápàá bá ní nǹkan àbí kejì tẹ́ fẹ́ fi ran ètò yìí lọ́wọ́. Bí ọ́fíìsì tá a lè mọ́ lò, ọkọ̀, mobility àwọn èèyàn wa gbogbo, ilẹ̀ táwọn èèyàn wa lè mọ́ fi dáko nílé, owó tàbí omi tẹ́ bá ní láti fi ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Ẹ kàn sí wa látòrí wẹ́bsáìtì wa www.yorubanationyouth.org. Bákan náà ní ẹni tàbí kẹ́ WhatsApp Prophet Ayọ̀délé Ológunlolúwa lórí +1 803 846 1116. Comrade Ọ̀mẹ́yọ̀ lórí +234 703 717 3355. Bákan náà ní ẹ lè pe Comrade Ọmọboríowó lórí +971 503 430 842. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá jẹ́ ìṣòro láti login tàbí technical issues lẹ́ni, ẹ pe Comrade Yagboyaju lórí +971 525 261 442. Ẹ má gbàgbé wípé àlàkalẹ̀ ètò yìí wà fún ojúlówó ọmọ Yorùbá nìkan ṣoṣo lábẹ́ ìṣàkóso bàbá wa Emérítọ̀ Professor Banji Akíntóyè, Dr. Sunday Adéyẹmọ, Májàsọ́lá Ìgbòho Òòṣà, Ọ̀túnba Démọ́lá tí wọ́n jẹ́ Vice Chairman YSDM, àpapọ̀ gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ YSDM jákèjádò àgbáyé, gbogbo àwọn sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ world media wa nílé àti lókè òkun àti àwọn àgbààgbà tó ń tàwọn aláṣẹ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá láì dẹ́nìkan sí. Olùkéde Prophet Ayọ̀délé Ológunlolúwa Yorùbá Diaspora Youth Leader lórúkọ ọ̀dọ́ Yorùbá pátápátá.
Mo kí gbogbo àwọn medias wa pátápátá, mo kí màá dárúkọ, màá kí gbogbo yín ká tó wọnú ètò as much as we have enough time and I'm not in a rush and I'm just going to take it as easy as I can. Assalamu alaikum fún gbogbo àwọn Muslim brothers and sisters tó jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo ibi tí ẹ bá wà ní ẹ̀ka ilé ayé. We have the 7 continents of the world. I don't know whether I have that, my beautiful map. I love my military wear. Mumba Akinyami Abosede gbogbo ìyá dáadáa. I move with I love my military wears, you know. it makes me feel very excited that one day, you know, I will be trained by the Yoruba government to fight and defend, you know, the territorial ground of Yoruba land. So I look forward to that day where every Israel citizen are trained, you know, to carry weapons. So I can't wait for that day. Mo kí àwọn Yoruba apparel, àwọn ni wọ́n fún wa ní àwọn nice bags yìí pé tá bá ti ń jáde cross bag, a máa gbé sọ́rùn. Please share the program. It's a Sunday broadcast and tó bá ní internet. Ẹjọ́ kò sí nǹkan tá lè ṣe sí. I wish I have ṣe belt méjì ní money ni. Okay, interesting. Wow, 2 different belts. They keep buying it for me, especially àwọn tó mọ̀ pé mo kí ẹ easy brother mi ní Miami. Ọlọ́run ló mọ èyí tó máa fi ń send ẹrù wá láti America. He doesn't look at the cost. Àwọn tó wà determine pé àwọn máa support Koikimedia. Èyí tí ẹ̀ ń support náà a dúpẹ́, èyí tẹ́ ẹ̀ support náà a dúpẹ́. You know, so these are my military. So let's appreciate ourselves. Let me start this platform. Let me first appreciate people that I see with different groups. Tó bá sí nínú group tó dẹ̀ ń ṣe Yoruba Nation, it is important that you find yourself in a group, and that group must be registered under YSDM. How you doing, man? How are you? Good. Neighbor mi nìyẹn. Tó bá wà nínú group, o gbọ́dọ̀ máa listen sí àwọn coordinators yín. Don't just say mo fẹ́ máa ṣe tèmi nìkan. No, kò possible. O lè ṣe tiẹ̀ nìkan. O gbọ́dọ̀ wà lábẹ́ a particular coordinator. Àwọn kan wọ̀ sí nínú any groups. Dúpọ̀ ní tìrì ló dá gbogbo nonsense yẹn sílẹ̀ pé òun ò ní group, òun ò ní gbogbo nonsense yẹn. Kódà kò sí bí ká tó ṣe Yorùbá Nation gan. Gbogbo ala wà ní one organization, a dẹ̀ láwọn tó ń darí ẹ̀. Bí a wà ní Old Student Association, bí a wà ní club kan ni, bí a jẹ́ member bí kan ni. You must be a member and olórí máa wà nínú membership yẹn. O kò lè sọ pé mo fẹ́ máa dá tèmi ṣe fúnra mi. Kò possible. O gbọ́dọ̀ ní olórí. Ibi tá bá ti sọ pé ní olórí, èmi ò lẹ́gbẹ́, èmi ò kì í ṣẹgbẹ́, ìyá yẹn ló dá gbogbo nonsense yẹn sílẹ̀. So please, ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá wá ní group, bóyá ẹ kò on the sideline, ẹ kò wo ohun tó ń lọ ti yín, ẹ wà confused. No problem. Ìyẹn ò mean anything. But what we are saying is that fanfani ẹni tí ó bá really fẹ́ wà involved nínú Yorùbá Nation movement. Ní state ẹ béèrè àwọn tó ń ṣe, darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà labroad, ẹ work pẹ̀lú àwọn ní tiyín. Irú èmi nísìn bí ṣe ń ṣe Yorùbá Nation, I do all the state, but mo tún work pẹ̀lú àwọn tí wọ́n wà ní Ogun State. Níwọ̀nba tí mo lè ṣe, mo ń ṣe fún wọn. Not a lot. Even if it's an advice, kò ń ṣe gbogbo nǹkan náà ní monetary fund as well. So but kó wá di pé èèyàn kan máa ní èmi ò ní group o, mo fẹ́ wà nínú ẹgbẹ́ kankan, but mo kàn máa ṣe Yorùbá Nation. Then that means pé o ò ní listen sí Bàbá Akíntóyè torí pé o fẹ́ dá ṣe tiẹ̀ nìyẹn. O fẹ́ listen sí Bàbá Akíntóyè. Mo rí àwọn Biafra, bọ̀bọ̀ kan ló post, èèyàn kan tag mi. Èèyàn kan tag mi. Ṣẹ̀rá àwọn Biafra wọ́n mọ Bàbá Akíntóyè dáadáa. Ìgbòho nìkan ló mọ̀. So lọ́kàn wọn, wọ́n máa ní Ìgbòho ṣe Yorùbá Nation mọ́ lẹ́nu wọn. Tẹ́ bá ti rí àwọn comments wọn bẹ́yìn àbáwọn write up wọn, ẹ kò ignore wọn. They are very, very ignorant. Ara dẹ̀ ń ta wọ́n ni. Àwa kúkú kọ́ la mú Nnamdi Kanu, àwa dẹ̀ kọ́ la tì mọ́lé. Tinubu dẹ̀ kọ́ ló ti Nnamdi Kanu mọ́lé, Buhari ló tì mọ́lé. So when you see those Biafrans tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀, pé Ìgbòho ṣe Yorùbá Nation mọ́, just ignore them. Ara ń ta wọ́n, àkúkú jọ sáré eré kan náà. Wọ́n ń sáré tiwọn, àwa ń sáré tiwa. And as far as I'm concerned, even pẹ̀lú gbogbo formation wọn, Nigeria ṣì ń operate on the side. So that is all on the side one. So mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Mo kí mọ́mísí mi dáadáa. Mo wọ́pọ̀ àdúró tì mí. mo dẹ̀ kí àwọn ìyàwó mi náà Kúnlé Bakers ó fún mi lówó lánàá ó tún nílé ní náà wàá tún fún mi kò ní tán fún ẹ láéláé. Thank you so much. You're a big brother and I look forward to seeing many of you in the near future. Tó ní pẹ́ mọ́ either through a tour Los America, Canada, which I look forward to as soon as I have the fund, because I cannot start traveling when I don't have the money. I am ready to go around, and engage, but without money you cannot do that. So thank you so much, we appreciate it. Mokiyami Abosede Eshegoni, and you said happy Sunday to you, our able lecturer. Moki Eitiati Wole Mokiyami Kike Lomo Eshegoni Taiwo Kike Mokiga Noloyede says good afternoon and happy weekend. Entiba Daruko nisin a jẹ́ pé mo rí comment yín, okay? And I'm going from one page. I have my laptop here, mo connect it, cable mi láti inú ilé, so we have enough, to go through the program. And I have extra, at least, so nobody is missing out. But I must start Twitter wa níbí by very soon. Moki Mr. Deniyi Eshegoni sir. It does not matter whether you are older than me, I'm older than you. Tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ ni mo fi ń dárúkọ yín. Ọmọlúàbí tó mọ àṣà, tó dẹ̀ mọ value who we are. So tí bá dárúkọ yín, mo lárúkọ mọ́ yín lórí. Tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ mo fi ń dárúkọ yín. Àwọn kan máa ní kí n máa pè àwọn ní ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, àbúrò àwọn. We are all the same. Ṣẹ́rí tèmi náà bá wà ní Nàìjíríà, èmi náà lè máa gbọ́wọ́ ojú títì. Kọ́dẹ̀ máa bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ kí n máa dáhùn fún Yorùbá Nation. I'm just privileged to live in the UK. Could mean anything. You could be in the same position like me. Kémi náà wà ní Nàìjíríà kó máa bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ kí n máa ní kó fuck off. Ẹ má bínú fún language yẹn. And it's true. Pé kí ni ilé ìsọ ilé ó ṣe lè jókòó sí London kó máa sọ fún wa pé ká pín Nàìjíríà. Who the hell are you? Who the F are you? Ó possible. Kódà èmi náà lè máa gbowó orí ọlọ́kadà. Kí ni kó fún mi ní ọ̀kadà 100. Kémi náà máa gba returns lé lórí. Kí ni máa gbádùn ayé mi. So ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó ń ràn lára tàwa lábroad ló ràn lára tẹ̀yìn náà. We are not better off here in tẹ wà nílé. Condition ló jẹ́ kí crayfish bend. So ẹ má rí àwọn tó wà lábroad as torí ọ wà lábroad. Tí Nàìjíríà bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ tó dẹ̀ wà okay, gbogbo nǹkan kọ́ lẹ máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ wa lábroad. Títí kọ́ àná family mi kan sì béèrè owó lọ́wọ́ mi, and I'm sorry mo ò fún torí mo ò ní. Torí mo lè fi owó tí mo fẹ́ fi ṣe bills mi níbí báyìí kí n send ẹ̀ sí torí ebi ń pa. Mo sorry. And that's a fact. Okay, nígbà tí bá fún ẹni tó ní ìdòwò ẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà, èmi mo lọ́mọ lọ́wọ́ níbí báyìí, mo níyàwó, mo máa sanwó ilé, mo máa sanwó this and that. And that is why we are saying the country failed everybody. Mo kí bàbá mi Kẹ́hìndé Adéyẹmí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ̀ kí àwọn èèyàn ká tó wọnú program just to appreciate you all, pé ká kọ̀ sọ pé a rí yín níbẹ̀. And it is only when you comment I will see you. Tẹ́ bá comment I might not see you. It's just so that you want to remain silent. Mo ní mọ̀ pé èyí tó ní tìrì wà ní sálẹ̀ tẹ́ ń gbọ́ program mi. Lè yín lórí platform mi, but as far as I'm concerned, Dupe has not declared any Yoruba nation. She's just fooling around. Oh, Stoke-on-Trent, Manchester nìyẹn. No, kò ṣe Manchester, but somewhere around that side. Okay, ẹ ṣé gan ni, Mr. Odúfọlábí Ṣeun, ẹ ṣé gan ni, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa. Mo kí àwọn tó wò mí lórí ti àwọn àlùkà. I have a privilege to be using their platform for my program. Laura Princess, how are you? Mo kí àwọn tó ń wò wá lórí Ìmọ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá. Mo kí bàbá wa kí tó yẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Kọ́bẹ̀ Elédùmarè kó bá wa lọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀mí bàbá yẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wá lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ká kí àwọn tó wà lórí other platform. Mr. Yodele Ọlátúndé, ìyá mi Eunice. Mo pa àwọn kan comment. Mo kàn rí orúkọ yín ni Mr. Kọ́lá Wọlé Ẹgbẹ́ọlá, ẹ ṣé gan ni daddy. Mo máa like fìlà tẹ́ dé ìkẹ́. Mr. Emmanuel Yinka Ogundele, happy Sunday to you as well. John Oluwafunmilayo Smart, thank you so much. Olatubosun Johnson, shout out to you. Babatunde Olatunji, mo fi t'Elédùmarè kí yín daddy torí mo ti rí pé fìlà tẹ́ dé yẹn àwọn fìlà olówó nìyẹn. Mo kí ẹ Stone Cold, o máa ń pọ̀rọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ. Only in the context of the people coming together. A group refers to collection of individuals who gather for common purpose or share a common interest. You have to be part of a group. O kò lè sọ pé òun ṣe Yorùbá nation òfin máa dá ṣe tiẹ̀ kò possible. ó gbọ́dọ̀ wà lábẹ́ àṣẹ Bàbá Akíntóyè. It is as simple as that. Tó bá ti sí lábẹ́ àṣẹ Bàbá Akíntóyè, that means pé òun tẹ̀lé Onítìrí nìyẹn, or ó kò decide pé go on the side, and there's nothing wrong in that. So we gather for a common purpose or share a common interest. Àwa tá gather sínú àpèjọ inú platform yìí àtàwọn tó máa gbọ́ wa lẹ́sìn àtàwọn tó máa gbọ́ later, we are sharing the same common goals. Àwọn kan like APC, but wọ́n kì í wò pé ṣó possible kí Yorùbá nation bọ́ sí ṣá nínú Nàìjíríà. Ó possible. Tẹ́ bá tẹ́tí kẹgbọ́n kan tá à ń sọ. So it could be a group of friends. Gbogbo WhatsApp group yẹn friends ni. Facebook friends. Ìgbà míì tó bá lọ sáré oríṣiríṣi àdúgbò wa ló ní ibi táwọn èèyàn ti máa lọ ń ṣe exercise. O lè pàdé yàn níbẹ̀. Tó bá marry tó bá single from there ẹ lè jẹ́ olólùfẹ́. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti marry ẹ lè di ọ̀rẹ́ dáadáa. Àìmọye àwọn tó yẹ pé wọ́n be together but they're good family friends. It is like a team of bunch of pals hanging out together. If you're really son of Yoruba nation, you need to have a group. Don't say you don't need a group. Dúpọ̀ Onítìrí ló start gbogbo nonsense yẹn. Owó kì í ṣẹgbẹ́, but eventually she has created a lot of different WhatsApp groups. Èmi ò sí nínú ẹgbẹ́ kankan. Èmi ò sí nínú ẹgbẹ́ kankan. All this nonsense that she was saying. She's a very stupid woman. Mr. Adeniyade Jubre mo kí yín. Ọlá Akínyẹmí mo kí yín. Mo kí Yami Abímbọ́lá Rashidat Quadri. Mo fi tẹ̀lédùmarè mo fi dárúkọ yín mà. Síkírù Àlàní Trueheart, shout out to you. Asman Adegbite mo kí yín. Yínká Ògúndélé mo kí yín. Mákanjúọlá Olúwaṣínà mo kí Comrade George Akínọlá Balógun Bíọ́dún mo kí yín. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní phase 1 phase 2 phase 3 phase 4. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní gbogbo ibi tẹ́ bá wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ní 191 local government títí dé Kwara State. Ọláníyì Ọrẹ Ọ̀fẹ́ mo kí ẹ. Túndé Fatai, Mr. Ọlákúnlé Adúmádéyìn olórúkọ mi ní sà, èmi náà ń jẹ́ Ọlákúnlé. Again, Stone Cold say welcome is a word we use to greet someone. Tàbá ní welcome, èdè tá fi ń kí àwọn èèyàn ní ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò tiwa yìí. Mò ń bá wa kẹ́yìn tẹ́ wà lórí YouTube, àwọn tó wà lórí Facebook là ń kí lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Màá kẹ́yìn tẹ́ wà lórí Instagram. And I think we should start the second Instagram since I'm not using this phone. Bákan máa fi lò fún Anthem, multiplay Anthem. Mujib Ọlálérè Aminu, mo kí n dádì. Èmi ò bá Muslim jà, mo ò bá Christian jà. Bí ayé gbogbo àṣẹ máa bẹ́tà ni mò ń sọ. Mo rí imam kan tó ń complain bitterly pé kí ló dé owó Saudi ṣe wọ́n báyìí 8.5 million. Ṣé Saudi government ni àbí agent Saudi? Ṣé Nigerian agent ni àbí Nigerian government? I don't know. Tí Saudi ò bá ṣe lọ, ẹ jẹ́ ká wà nínú ilé wa ká máa ṣàdúrà, Ọlọ́run máa gbàdúrà. Mo kí bàbá wa Búsàrí Abíọ́dún, Babátúndé Ọládìméjì mo kí yín sà. Olúwa jù wọ́n lọ, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Olúwa jù wọ́n lọ ni a fi gbé ètò yìí kalẹ̀. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ rò pé a ti collapse. Mo sọ fún yín pé generation ti sìn ó yàtọ̀ sí generation àwọn bàbá Fẹ́nifẹ́re. Because demand tó ń béèrè wọ̀ fún wọn, demand táwa ń béèrè yìí, bó bá wọn Amẹ́ríkà, bó bá wọn UK, bó bá wọn European country, bó bá wọn African country, nígbà tásìkò bá tó, everybody will know that we are serious. And I've told you that. Èmi ò fi ọ̀rọ̀ sábẹ́ àwọn sọ. Ó bá máa dìjà kó dìjà. Túndé Oyèníyì mo kí ń sà. Mo kí ìyàwó Tèmítọ́pẹ́ Kọ́mọláfẹ́. Láàrín pé mo tẹ̀lé mo ní gẹ́ọ̀ kan tájọ ṣe school tó ń jẹ́ Kọ́mọláfẹ́. MC Dabira mo kí ń sà. Aṣímọlọ́wọ̀ Abdullahi mo kí yín. Mr. Shamsuddin Alárápé, Fọlọ́wọ̀ Joshua, Adétúnjí Adédèjì, Ọlágbégi Adémọ́lá mo kí yín. Prince Gbénga Àjàyí, Prince ò kí ń ṣe any orúkọ, is a prince. That means they are likely to become a king lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Thank you so much and a very good afternoon and happy Sunday. Mo fẹ́ máa dárúkọ mọ́mì mi, I just call her First Bank, but wọ́n mọ ẹni tí mò ń sọ because inú First Bank ló ti ṣiṣẹ́. Púpọ̀ nínú yóò mọ tó ń lọ Nàìjíríà, àwọn tó ṣiṣẹ́ nínú bank tó yẹ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ti retire. Intọ́ ti sọ fún wa nípa àwọn northerners, àwọn Hausa, bó ṣe collapse the banking system. I pity a lot of Yoruba people that think that you can revive the economy. Tẹ bá ń dẹ́rù tí mo sọ pé First Bank, mo ní dárúkọ mọ́mì yẹn, wọ́n wò mí. First Bank ni wọ́n ti retire. Wọ́n collapse tó ń ṣe kékeré. Ẹ̀yin kan rí building ni, kò sí pákálá, kò sí nǹkan kan nú ẹ̀. I pity a lot of us. Prince Gbénga Àjàyí mo kí, then Mr. Adéyẹmí J. Olúwọlé mo kí gbogbo ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Princess Awoniyi mo kí, Mr. Kayode Ewébi mo kí sir, Honourable A. Samuel mo kí gbogbo àwọn politicians wa. ẹ má yẹ ká wúra wa lójú. Mò ń sọ fún yín ẹ ń rò péré ni mò ń sọ. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká wúra wa lójú. Tó bá di pé wúra wa lójú, ẹ̀yin gan nílé gbé nígbé àlàáfíà. Ẹ máa sáré káàkiri ni. Ẹ máa move from one point to the other. Ẹ nílé gbé níbi tẹ́ ń gbé lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn. Torí pé ó máa di wàhálà gidi, ó máa dèṣù. Ẹ má yẹ kó débẹ̀. So this is something that we are saying. Ẹ má rò pé kò lè débẹ̀ o. Probability kò máa débẹ̀ wà. Mo kẹ́ ẹ̀ tẹ́ wà lórí Instagram Olayomi Koiki, Ọ̀túnba Olúwaṣínà, Founder Money. Mo kẹ́ ẹ̀. Whether you agree with me or not doesn't matter. But Nigeria must collapse so that the Yoruba people will have a better place. Sí ọkọ̀ tó ń jẹ́ Nigeria. Mo kí Ṣẹ́gẹ́ Fìlà, Biza, mo kí Stable Boy, Mr. Idris, Prince Adedokun, mo kí sir. It is me, Adekunle, mo kí Prince _Lexi, and Jamil Dúpẹ́, mo kí Just Reason, mo kí ẹ. Ìlú àwọn sinmi bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Ṣẹ́gun ọ̀nà, mo ti rí lọ́dọ̀ àrólé náà. Èmi náà ń gbọ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kan kí tó start program mi. Ó kù iṣẹ́ takuntakun, kò ní sí gbogbo wa. Yusuf Túndé, mo kí ẹ. Bishop Adesina, Abiodun Monday, Abraham Ajirot, mo kí ẹ ti Benin Republic. Ẹ kú tọ́jú gbogbo Olóyè Ìgbòho àti Bàbá Akíntóyè. Bàbá mi, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Kúnlé Ṣítà, mo kí yín sir. Mr. Oga Print. Printing is a big business. Ìwòpin paper mill. Kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n sọ fún mi, mo débẹ̀ ni. Mo sunkún nígbà tí mo débẹ̀. The opportunity that should have, mo kí bàbá mi Ọlárẹ̀wájú Moses, Adéranmú, mo kí yín sir. Abiodun Bakari, mo kí yín. Tí a bá dé Ìwòpin paper mill, it could have been #1 in Africa and I think #3 in the world. Ìwòpin, kò sí nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe tẹ́ ẹ̀ need the paper. Paper, you need it. Kò sí bá ṣe fẹ́ lo technology, o sì need the paper. Àwa lọ ń print yẹn láti China, àwa lá nígi. All we need is just the technology to kick it start. But wọ́n jẹrun pátápátá. And I'm talking about years back, ká tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá Nation. Ọmọlúàbí ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú, mo kí wa àwọn Ìjẹ̀bú pátápátá. Mo kí Ajagun. Mark Stephen, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Ìyá mi Felicia Ojo, ẹ ṣé gan ni mà. Ọmọlúàbí ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú, mo kí lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Olóyèdè mo rí ẹ. Ìyọ́lá Adédọ́yìn, mo kí Tony Ages, àwọn ti Belgium. Mo kí ìyá wa Alájà Adiat Ọdẹ́wálé. Àwọn yẹn like Ìgbòho, àwọn yá yẹn. Èkó lọ́wọ́, wọ́n fẹ́ràn Ìgbòho kú. Tó bá jẹ́ pé the last owó wọn náà máa fi ń ra data láti fi gbọ́n tí bá fi sọ. Èkó lọ́wọ́, kọ́lọ́n bá wà pẹ̀lú yàn lájà. Gbogbo iná la ṣe máa ríra. Kò possible a máa ríra. Ikú ò ní pa wá. Nàìjíríà máa pín. Wàláì tàláì súnmọ́ bíláì làzílà hùwà. Ó máa pín, kò sí bàbá ńlá ẹni tó lè sọ pé kò ní pín. Ìjọ àsìkò nìkan ló wà lọ́wọ́ Elédùmarè. Lọ dífá láàárọ̀ ìkó béèrè pé ṣé Nàìjíríà máa pín. Ó máa sọ fún ẹ pé Nàìjíríà máa pín. Lọ bá ẹni tó jẹ́ wòlíì gidi àbí kí wọn náà kó sacrifice ara ẹ fún 7 days. Kò ní kọ́lọ́run fi wọ̀n ẹ pé ṣé Nàìjíríà máa pín. Ọlọ́run máa sọ fún ẹ pé Nàìjíríà máa pín, bọ̀ kò ní sọ̀gbà tó máa jẹ́ fún ẹ. The same thing ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń ṣe Mùsùlùmí. Ẹ wọnú ilé Àlùwà lọ, kẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, kẹ́ gbé Kùránì kalẹ̀, kẹ́ gbàwẹ̀, kẹ́ wá ṣe sàárà lé lórí, kẹ́ ní kọ́lọ́run fún yín ní àpẹẹrẹ pé ṣé Nàìjíríà máa pín. Àsìkò ti tó. Gbogbo ràkàtí àtọ́ ń ṣe nísìn is just a matter of time. Ó máa crumble. Kò sí bàbá ńlá ẹni tó lè sọ pé Nàìjíríà ò ní pín. Amẹ́ríkà ò lè hold ẹ̀. Mo máa ń sọ fún yín because America is a super power. Ìmáà ń dárúkọ Amẹ́ríkà ò lè ṣe nǹkan kan lé lórí. China ò lè ṣe nǹkan kan lé lórí. Russia ò lè. Àwa lá nílẹ̀ yẹn. Tásìkò bá tó ọmọ nílẹ̀ máa béèrè tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lórí ilẹ̀ ẹ̀. Àsìkò ìtí tó ní. Tásìkò bá tó. Ẹ máa sọ pé à ń ṣeré pa ni. No problem. Mo kí ẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Kúnlé Bakers. Mo kí Wàhátà olórí ẹbí wa nìyẹn. Kọ́lọ́ bá ń dúró tẹ̀ bá ń kí mọ̀ sí. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Yẹmí Fátókí, mo kí yín. Abiodun Monday. Saheed Jimoh, mo kí ẹ. Mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ṣayẹ́ ká máa wọnú ètò yẹn lọ díẹ̀díẹ̀. Mother, God and Brian, the Yoruba nation we need is a Yoruba nation built on love for each other as well as power, sound. There will be a lot of reconciliation. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, bàbá mi John Ogundele, àwọn ti prophet ni wọ́n ti gbé ní UK for over 20 or 15 years. Wọ́n fún wọn níwèé nílùú ìtọ́ fi padà lọ sílé. Ọlọ́run ló pè wọ́n pé káwọn máa padà bọ̀ nílé, kọ́ wa máa bá iṣẹ́ Elédùmarè tó gbélé wọn lọ́wọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí kò sí nǹkan kan tó máa sọ fún yàn pé òyìnbó ló gbé Christianity wá, gbogbo yẹn fàbú ni tó bá tẹ̀ gbé wá àwọn èèyàn ń ṣe ó dẹ̀ ń jẹ́ fún wọn. Ìyẹn mo ṣe máa sọ pé ẹ má kọlu Christian, ẹ má kọlu Mùsùlùmí. Leave everybody to practice what they want to practice. Leave everybody to practice what they want to practice. So if you are still one of those saying kò ní pín, irọ́ là ń pa. Mo kí ẹ lórí program wa ní Ìmọ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá, bàbá mi, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, Ọládélé Àmùdá Israel. Mo kí yẹ káàbọ̀. Ẹ settle down. Bàbá mi Wàsíù Akínyẹlé, Mr. Koiki, I weep for Ìwòpin paper mill because I know the history. Bàbá ẹ̀ náà, Adémídé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ká tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá Nation. Plan mi tẹ́lẹ̀ ni pé mo fẹ́ máa travel lọ sí gbogbo 36 states kí n connect the dots so that ẹni tó wà ní Kaduna kó lè rí nǹkan kan ṣe wá sí UK. Plan tí mo fẹ́ ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ nìyẹn. 36 states mo fẹ́ máa travel káàkiri ni. But unfortunately, we didn't do that. But mo láǹfààní àti dé Ìwòpin paper mill. A whole day ni mo ṣe níbẹ̀. Mo lọ lórí omi. Mo sunkún. Ọmọ Yorùbá àmọ́ ta ní lọ́wọ́. Tábà mọ́ ta ní lọ́wọ́ ni ariwo tí mò ń pa yìí. Kódà lẹ máa sọ fún wa pé ó ti yá. But many of you, ẹ fẹ́ ká mọ history wa, ẹ fẹ́ ká sọnù. A máa celebrate Independence Day wa tó ń bọ̀ láìpẹ́. Ìgbà tó máa dé làkọ̀mọ̀ tí bá ní tó ń bọ̀ láìpẹ́, mo sọ pé lẹ́ni, mo sọ pé lọ́la. But ó kù sáwa lọ́wọ́. If we want it today, it will happen today. If we want it next week, it will happen. Mo kí bàbá mi Adémọ́lá, mo kí gbogbo àwọn ìlànà. So let me appreciate. Mo kí OBJ. Wọ́n yìnbọn fún bàbá yẹn lẹ́sẹ̀ ní 3 years ago. Ó fa sùúrùtù kan pẹ̀lú àwọn sójà. Àwọn ọmọ wa kan strong gan. Òun nìkan. Wọ́n yìnbọn fún lẹ́sẹ̀. Kọ́lọ́ bá ń jẹ́ kẹ́sẹ̀ yẹn kó jiná. Mo kàn rí kọ́ message ẹ̀ ní sínú aláyé long time. Mo kí wà látàlẹ́ ẹ̀kan sí. Mo kí sister mi kan l'Amẹ́ríkà. Mo máa ń sọ pé ó sọ fún mi pé àwọn 6 local government ẹyọ kan kọ́kọ́ fún àwọn máa bring it to the standard of New York. Kò ń ṣe pé àwọn ilé ìṣeré o, they no dey play o. Kò gbọ́ Yorùbá púpọ̀. 6-figure salary. Ó wà network l'Amẹ́ríkà ló wà ń bẹ̀. Mo ní sọ state tó ti wá. Ó ní kọ́ fún àwọn ní local government kan. Within years, àwọn máa bring standard ẹ̀ pàṣẹ sí New York. Àwọn máa gbé investor oríṣiríṣi wá. A jókòó sínú ràkàràkà. Ara Délékè máa jó kiri. Mo rí Kwara state governor náà lọ sí Saudi Arabia. Ó ní òun wá ṣàdúrà fún Nàìjíríà. Saudi tí wọ́n lè lọ, governor wà níbẹ̀, ìwọ ọmọ Kwara state. Ó mọ̀ pé mo sọ pé platform yìí ni international platform. Mo kí ẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Ṣẹ́gun Ọ̀nà. Ó ti fowó ránṣẹ́. Yoruba sovereign people must be free from Nigeria. We seek a dominion over the territory and the natural resources. Yoruba sovereign is the cure. Mọ́tò ni o. Àwọn mọ́tò máa ń gbé ẹ̀sọ́ sábẹ́ mọ́tò wọn. Ẹ yẹ ká play anthem wa ká lè wọnú ètò. Mo kí o gba grandma. Let's sit back and let's enjoy the program. It's a Sunday. No. Ìwọ fìyẹ́ sílẹ̀ díẹ̀ Tinubu. O ti sọ ẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ àfigbọ́ yẹn mọ́. No struggle. Kí ló dé tó ṣe ń struggle? Let's play the anthem and then we start. So mo kí gbogbo different groups pátápátá láì yọ ẹnì kankan sílẹ̀. Mo kí Morenikeji Anobi TV. Mo kí Bàbá Lókolódò. Mo kí Ìfẹ́lódùn Àpapọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá. Mo kí Dr. Koka. Ó kù díẹ̀ wọ́n bọ orúkọ ẹ̀mí àti ẹ̀jẹ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ rédíò. Ọlọ́run ló ní ká ṣe sùúrù díẹ̀. Mo kí Dr. Koka dáadáa. 16 aspirant battle for APC governorship ticket in Ondo State. 16 aspirant. Wọ́n máa para wọn tán délẹ̀ ni. Mo kí Yorùbá security matter. Mo kí Yorùbá exit group lábẹ́ bàbá mi, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, Sọ̀ní Lambẹ̀. Mo kí Olóyè Ìgbòho. Ikọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá. Mo kí General Trustina. Ìṣọ̀kan ọmọ Yorùbá, Oòduà Defence Group, Ogun State ìlànà. Mo kí Yorùbá World Media. Mo tún kí Ìfẹ́lódùn Àpapọ̀ Media, Social Òmìnira Orílẹ̀-èdè, Àrólé 1010 TV. Ìfẹ́lódùn Ìṣọ̀kan, mo kí Mass B. Yorùbá International Congress, Prophet Ológunlúwa mo kí yín. Yorùbá Nation Youth mo kí yín. Àwọn group kankan tí mo kàn rí náà ni mo kàn dárúkọ. Àṣà àti ṣe mo kí ẹ. Yorùbá Movement for Independence, Káyọ̀dé Mọ̀lá, brother mi kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun. Kentos mo kí ẹ. And let's go straight. Ondo Ṣọ̀kan Yorùbá mo kí yín. Ìjẹ̀bú Parapọ̀ Yorùbá Nation, mo kí gbogbo àwọn Pastor League, mo kí Yonkan. Mo kí àwọn Koikimedia team. Ẹ kú iṣẹ́, ẹ kú àdúró tí Koiki. Mo kí gbogbo wa pátápátá. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ wa nílé lóko. So let's play the anthem It's 40 minutes already into the program, and then we can start a little bit. And once again, a very good afternoon and welcome to the transmission.
Ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àjẹmọ́. Ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tìlé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan mọ Adéyẹmọ. Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà bí àrá orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bo lórúkọ gan-an. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé gbòòrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o. Ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan ò lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ kan ká lè débi re ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gèdèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sí náà ń ká sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho áfíkan pọkó sí ámúkan yòókù bọ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹ́rù wálé wàràmùdé ọmọ onílé ọ̀la àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi ń kọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé fi ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onírẹ̀lẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kò dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ títọ́ domi láéláé ìtọ́ nílé domi Sunday Ìgbòho arógun má ti bí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó.
Bọ́dá Island àgbà navy blue check jákàmọ̀ lọ́sìbò ìgbò wọn bá ti wà confused the land is too much 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 jákàmọ̀ let's go.
Mo kí ẹ wà látà olórí ẹbí mo ti kí ẹ lẹ́ǹkan náà kó tó dípò wọlé káàbọ̀ sórí ètò bá ń kí mọ́ sí dáadáa má sọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀ so Ọlọ́run bá ń dúró tiẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tí ẹ ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ẹ jẹ́ ká wọnú ètò lọ. For a very long time we have been saying through a lot of information that Nigeria military is compromised. And everybody knows that's compromised, but we have been living in denial. Ẹ má worry nípa àwọn tí wọ́n wọlé lórí Koikimedia, no, lórí the backup channel. Gbogbo comment nonsense tán kọ́ yẹn. Bó ṣe ń wọlé náà ni mo bá wọn síta, àwọn máa lé ní. So, but I will not read their comment, but I can see some of their stupidity on the platform. Let's listen to this. Then I'm going to go through the Punch newspaper, something that piqued my concern that I want us to listen to. Okay, ma go through it later. Only my program because we go phones anymore. It's in the studio number. Let's say this clearly. Moki Walen conceal. Gbogbo Latin sọ pé the military, the Nigerian military is a compromised military. And I remember the T.Y. Danjuma ó fún wa ní that in-depth information as a former chief of defense staff. These are positions that they know what is going on, not just in Nigeria, in Africa and within the continent, based on that position. It's a very high power, it's a very powerful, big position. Buratai ló wà ńbẹ̀ at some point, and so many people like that. But also fún wa pé nǹkan kan right pẹ̀lú Nigerian military. Then kí ni kò right pẹ̀lú Nigerian military is a compromised military. Àwọn tó wà níbẹ̀ tó wà compromised tó fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n máa ń block wọn ò jẹ́ kó sọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn tó wà níbẹ̀ tó fẹ́ gbóhùn sókè wọ́n máa ń block wọn. Wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ kó sọ̀rọ̀ látara pé something doesn't set right. So, and we have been told so many things about the Nigeria military. Either, oh, okay, all right, Oyemi. Okay. But it seems that since Tinubu Tidebe, like I said, I don't know whether Tinubu is still in charge of this government. Because I want to say that the president can take some decision that will make big changes. And one of them is Tinubu coming out officially, not the one that we are reading, we are not clear about it. The one that Tinubu will come out officially with a full broadcast, either 30 minutes, 10 minutes, not even 30 minutes, 10 minutes, and declare terrorists as terrorists, not bandits. In the 10 months, going to the 11th month, because this month, Lomakwe 11th, Tinubu ti wà lórí oyè, he has not come out officially to declare bandits as terrorists. So the Nigerian media are still using the word bandit for people that are terrorists. I want you to follow what I'm saying. And for somebody like us, it is scary that we cannot call people that are bandits, that are terrorists. Because terrorist has different meaning. See, bandit. And I'll try my best to give us, and I'm just trying to bring some highlights of that in a minute, based on people that have spoken in the past regarding calling them bandits. You cannot keep calling people that are terrorists and call them bandits. We've heard from T.Y. Danjuma, we've heard from former Navy Comrade OLAYOMI. I'm sure many of you remember 2 years ago that he came out to tell us point blank that the government knows the sponsor of Boko Haram. He's a former naval chief officer. These are not moi positions. These are positions that are very, very crucial. And when people like this come out and speak, don't joke with what they are saying. These are not people that know nothing, but they know a lot. And I'm just trying to bring those prep ready for us. He has spoken a lot. He has accused the government. And as we know, the previous government of President Muhammadu Buhari literally did nothing. Literally did nothing to protect Nigerians from the ISIS, the bandits, no, the ISIS, the Boko Harams, the Mujahideen. There are many of them that are operating up to today in Nigeria. So the headline that we want to look into says, and today on the Punch newspaper, for reference purpose, you can check it out as well, reintegrating terrorists into society, dangerous ex-soldiers is telling federal government. Who is the federal government? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Get the word right. Reintegrating. What does that mean? The word reintegrating or reintegrate. Nigerians are languishing in the prison for crimes that they have not even committed, and they are not reintegrated back in the society. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ gbọ́ mi tí mò ń sọ yìí. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá wà nínú ẹ̀wọ̀n. A sọ pé àwọn tó pààyàn, àwọn tí wọ́n commit petty crime, wọ́n reintegrate yín padà sínú society. Kódà ẹlòmíì wà lẹ́wọ̀n. Ó ti ń lọ pé only God knows decades, years tí wọ́n gbé lọ sí court láti ṣèdájọ́ ẹ̀. Even ẹni tó commit crime tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n kidnap ẹ̀, wọ́n rendition Nnamdi Kanu ó wà lẹ́wọ̀n lábẹ́ àwọn DSS. Kódà wọ́n fún láyè pé kán move ẹ̀ láti DSS lọ sí proper prison tó ń pè ní Kuje prison. So tá a bá jókòó sí bíbá tá à ń sọ fún yín pé there is a danger fúnran Yorùbá. Danger yẹn wọ́n establish it, and my concern now is ìjà ní government, because tí Tinubu bá jẹ́ president, àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ kan wà tó yẹ kó gbé láti fi kọ́ọ̀bù àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń bá bọ̀ tá à ń sọ yìí. So tá a bá pe ọ̀rọ̀ kan ní reintegrate, what does it mean? Kí ló mean? REINTEGRATE. Romeo Echo India November Tango Echo Golf Romeo Alpha Tango Echo. Reintegrate. Kí ló mean? Kí ni nǹkan tó ní ṣe? Reintegrate. Restore. Element regarded as disparate to unity. It is also the opposite of reconcile. Reconcile. Àwọn tó mú bọ́tọ́ pààyàn, what destroy economy in Nigeria, what destroy society, what destroy lives of people. Àwọn yẹn ni government Bola Ahmed Tinubu wá fẹ́ reintegrate, because when they talk about the federal government, Tinubu is the head of the Nigeria military. So that means that he has actually signed. We thought that Buhari was worst. A rò pé Buhari was Muki Ajijagbara, Shakiru Aziz Mokinsa, Tokyo _77 Muki Akabosoreto. We can now see that Tinubu is not even just worse, is a terrible head of chief of staff to the whole Nigeria military architect. And this is why I say we can never trust him. For those of you that say we should trust Tinubu, it will give you Yoruba nation, or he might restructure Nigeria to the way that it will work for me and you. I tell you point blank that Tinubu does not have that capacity and the balls to do so. Because Sultan of Sokoto that owns and controls Nigeria, what he did, Ekmo Tinubu mu wo fulaye cooperate on his own. Listen to this again. Reintegrate. Many more like that into the society. Abisola Oladele. Can somebody explain to me in the comment section, why would the federal government under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reintegrate terrorists, full-blown terrorists, Dashman, you're welcome to the program, into the society? We are not talking about people that are doing petty crime. We are talking about people that have committed heavy crime that we've seen, that some of us, maybe I should remind you of Owo, the massacre that took place in Owo. Maybe I should remind you of many massacres that have occurred in Nigeria. Kí ló dé tí ìjọba Bola Ahmed Tinubu wá tún fẹ́ reintegrate wọn padà sí society? That is what we want to talk about today. So if we use the word reintegrate, what is another word? Kí ni another ọ̀rọ̀ míì fún reintegrating? Reintegrate, the verb as rehabilitate. It is the strongest match. Fix up, improve, mend, rebuild, reclaim, reconstruct, recover, re-establish, flush, refurbish, reinvigorate, rejuvenate, restore, and save. This is what they are going to do with the Fulani terrorists back into the Nigerian society. And that literally means that we don't know who could be the next hit from these criminals that have committed crime against humanity, that the United Nations, the European countries, the African Union have literally condemned for a very long time, but yet the Nigerian government continue to use kid glove. Glove àwọn ọmọ kékèké tọwọ́ sọ́wọ́ òun ló fi ń gbá wọn léṣe. And you expect the society to work for me and you. Why are they becoming reintegrate back into the society? We're going to discuss all that, but let's listen to this to start with.
In this state is under assault. There's an attempt at ethnic cleansing in this state, and of course in all the riverine states of Nigeria. We must resist it. We must stop it. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits that kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movement. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
This was T.Y. Danjuma giving us the background to why we should not sit back. Muki Arole Oduduwa, welcome to the program. Tokyo_77 say Bola Tinubu is not in control of Nigeria. The Northern Kaaba is in control. Mukiami Omurufat, Omo Anyolola, Ekabo Soreto. Irewole Emmanuel, good afternoon. So as we continue to ask this question, many of you might not know what is happening because we are concentrating on other areas. And on our Instagram, we're going to go in and out because, like I said, we're not getting the full, Instagram anymore. So that means we come in and we go out after a certain time. And welcome to the program. This is Koikimedia Sunday broadcast as President Bola Tinubu have decided to reintegrate the Fulani terrorists back into the society. Nibolo Malogbe, nobody knows. Are they coming to the southwest? Are they going to the southeast? Are they going to be in the north? We don't know yet. But what we know is that there are already thousands of them that have been reintegrated when Buhari was there. And it seems that Like Tinubu say, I am continue from where Buhari stopped. Let me take you to an article on Sahara Reporter on May 11, 2022, with the headline, ex-Naval Commodore who exposed that Nigerian government knows Boko Haram sponsor OLAYOMI to be crowned warlord in Ogun community. A former deputy director of the Defense Administration, Dr. Kunle OLAYOMI, is to assume the Generalismo warlord title in Yewa Land, Ogun State. OLAYOMI will be crowned on Friday, May 13, 2022. Dr. OLAYOMI, a retired naval commodore with 35 years of military service, which is not moi moi, it is not akara, to spend 35 years within the military during that era, it will have experienced a lot of things. Need more of our people that are in the military, Tojomo Yoruba, train àwọn ọmọ wa, train one, equip one because it's expensive, we don't have the money. But let's give them some training so that they can become a little bit more knowledgeable of the terrain and within the territory of the Southwest because of the invaders. Is to be conferred with the traditional chieftaincy title of Akogo Kendi, Olugbenla, the Olu of Ilaru, and the paramount ruler of Yewa Land. That's not where we are going. We know that there are so many of Yoruba people. Remember that told us that he is an associate professor of global counter-terrorism. OLAYOMI had been in the news after his comment on the Boko Haram insurgency during a recent interview with Channels Television that I'm going to give us some snip view about it in a minute. In April this year, the government said they had arrested 400 Bureau de Change BDC related people that were sponsoring Boko Haram. Remember that when Tinubu came now, he has been dealing with the BDC, the Bureau de Change operator. During the Buhari regime, United Arab Emirates gave the Nigerian government the clue to arrest people in that BDC. T1 low, láti fi fund terrorism, but Buhari just sat down like that and looked away because it was one of the criminal terrorists himself, Mokia Onacheta. But today, as many of Nigerians are sitting and sleeping, the new government, the new administration that we thought that it will use a normal glove to fight terrorists is now also using the same glove, Tibuari Law, by saying that we will allow terrorists to go back to the society because they've gone through a certain training. They've gone through training that will not allow them to become terrorists again. So, in terrorists, unbelievable that this administration of President Bola Tinubu, not those of us that believe under the leadership of Professor Adebanji Akintoye, because we are not of those that still believe in Nigeria. But àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá don't believe in one Nigeria. Ǹjẹ́ ti gbọ́ pé President Bola Tinubu, ìyẹn Jagaban, ó fẹ́ release more Boko Haram terrorists and jihadists and ISIS back into the society, and they will live with us. Because you have been distracted with so many other things in Nigeria. While then electricity tariff is okay, they are releasing terrorists back into the society. And it seems that many of you don't have money to buy the newspaper and you cannot watch it on the TV because you don't have electricity. This is the reason why somebody like us must bring it openly and ask President Bola Tinubu what warrant him to allow terrorists to be released back into the society. Even those that have damaged their life, they are still living in the IDP camps across Nigeria today. The question is this what you want? Okay, you don't want Yoruba nation, but do we want a criminal? No, these are not even criminal. Do we want terrorists? Because they are terrorists. I mean, how did we get to where terrorists is now allowed to come back into the... Okay, for Yoruba nation, no problem. I don't have any issue with you. But But I have issue now that President Bola Tinubu, the commander-in-chief of armed forces, is now giving the go-ahead for them to release terrorists back into the society because they've gone through certain program. Let me give you one example. There was a terrorist guy that eventually killed right in London Bridge, going through a program. He eventually opened. He spent time in the prison. They thought that they could bring them back into the society. Rather than that, he ended up killing more people. I mean, not a lot, but he ended up killing at least one and injured one until he was shot by the police. So how did we get to where we are all concentrating on Bobrisky, but you are not concentrating on the military releasing thousands of Boko Haram, ISIS, and jihadists back into society? It's because these criminals, terrorists, will be released back. So they give you all kind of things to distract your mind. That is what the government around the world are good at doing. So let's go back again. We know that the BDC, the Bureau de Change in Nigeria, majority of them are being operated by the Northerners. Adilemaromo Igbo tó ń ṣe Bureau de Change. Adilemaromo Yoruba tó ń ṣe Bureau de Change. Majority of those that are operating the Bureau de Change in Nigeria are the Northerners, and they are using fund. Let's go back to the UAE, Nigeria terrorists. Once again, a very good afternoon and welcome. Let me take you back to March 25th, 2022. The United Arab Emirates Federal Court of Appeal in Abu Dhabi convicted these are Nigerians terrorists, funding terrorism that is making me and you, our life as Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, indigenous people, ethnic people in Nigeria, to not be able to operate freely in Nigeria. They were living in the United Arab Emirates, but they were funding terrorism. 2022, the Federal Court of Appeals in Abu Dhabi convicted Abdurrahman, Ado Musa, Saliu, Yusuf Adamu, Bashir Ali Yusuf, Muhammad Ibrahim, Isa Ibrahim Ali Hassan, and Suraju Abubakar Muhammad for transferring $782,000 US from Dubai to Boko Haram in Nigeria is what Tinubu is now saying that they should. Are we all right in that country at all? This is the country that you want us to continue to share with. Let's get out of Nigeria before Nigeria capture every single one of us. Saying to me that I'm stupid, I cannot sit outside Nigeria and be telling you what to do and what not to believe. Let's read a little bit further. And I'm going now under the United States Department for Treasury. Once again, a shout out to definitely every one of you that have joined us. And remember that this platform is all about the total disintegration of the shit-hole country called Nigeria. Moki, sister me, auntie me, Ifagbe Mileke, welcome to the program and shout out to you all. Moki Bugwalen Conseil. Please share the program. Very, very important. These are the programs that we expect you to share. Continue to say we should keep one Nigeria. I just don't know how long more before we are all captured. Let me take you back, and I will be sharing this link on my Twitter in case you want to go and read a little bit further. Or the Twitter, which is known as X. If you're not following me there, I'm sorry, there's not much I can do. So I'm just sharing the link now so that in case you want to go and read it, you can also go there because I want Koikimedia is not a platform that tells you and you will say Mutufilo cross check it. Because I see some of you bomb bastard, you come on my platform and you say, oh, check or Timoso, to Tony. It's because Babe Lodope, Oriope, Babe Toriope, Tiko Soro Nipa Yoruba Nation. Our Yoruba Nation Dani, Kingbe Ofegi Dani. This is a platform that is well authenticated when it comes to reportage. And I'm not one of your V bloggers. Don't ever classify me as your blogger. bear with me and then for me. Happy Sunday once again. Remember to invite your friends and family. President Bola Tinubu, the Chief of Staff, the federal government president, has now given the all clear for terrorists to be released back into the society because they've gone through some training and they are no longer terrorists. They cannot harm you, they cannot harm me. So it's already on the X, in case you want to go and read it. The United States Department of the Treasury. Ogumolani, sadly, I am not in any group, sir. Maybe you can connect me to the one I will have to be. Okay, that's fine. All right. My send message there. And thanks so much. Yesterday, I know some of us would think that, Koiki, why are you saying this now? When I come out and I say this, especially when we say supporters, out of all the program we did yesterday, I even said that Toba Teje 1,000 naira, Toba Teje 2,000. Only one person out of the whole program that we did yesterday. It's about, I think about 3 hours program. Ogumola Towa Lori Mixelar, Nicolo sent the 2,000 naira. Out of the whole program we did yesterday, just one person sent 2,000 naira to my account. And I had another 1,000 my witness. I bought 3,000 naira data for him. I probably have about 333 naira in my account today. You can see why we are saying that you need the media to be able to confront the monster called Nigeria, to bring it down in a way that our people will understand. And I'm sure some of you watch program that the guy did yesterday. Laliano, Inye, Omotomba Mishishe, Niba to Loshe, transmission, La Light to Kodri. I would have said no. But because we don't want people to feel that, Yoruba Nation Tonshe, and we let Bonnie, and we Koni. So we bring all the platforms that are in any program that got to do with Christianity, Islam, and our tradition back home. One person out of a 3 hours program. But Toba Jek Baby Toti she fracas. Toba Jek Baby T, I want to work Toro Wofun Kokon. We are ready to give. So thank you so much. I have to call you out, Ogumola, just for you to know. Lot of the program yesterday, you won a and it's 2,000 naira, and I appreciate you, and I cannot love you less. Thank you so much. But the rest of you, I understand. You are just probably waiting for something to trigger your mind and say, okay, we will fund it. Don't wait till then, because there is danger coming closer. That danger is not going anywhere. We thought that the danger will reduce since President Bola Tinubu came to power, but rather 6,931 Nigerians have died in the hands of the same terrorists that the government is now saying they will allow them to come back into the society because they've gone through some training. Terrorism in a country that doesn't have the right materials to know who and where they will be at any point. That is very sad. Look, the UK government have my fingerprint, not because I'm a terrorist, it's because it is part of my immigration that I told them I'm going back to Nigeria, and they said, okay, you're not going back to Nigeria, we take your fingerprint. So that if anything, we can be able to know who you are. And in 24 years, I give that I've lived in this society and have not committed any crime to warrant even an arrest to the police station. I've been stopped by the police. I've been taken to the police station because they thought I was driving a vehicle that doesn't have an insurance. When we got there, they realized that they were sorry and they apologized. But when it comes to crime, federal government has what it takes to monitor thousands and thousands and thousands of terrorists that have now been allowed to go back and live with us. Yoruba, Amfi, Ino, Sori, Orule. And when I say Amfi, no, Sori, Orule, some of you are saying, shut up, shut up. You cannot sit in the UK and be telling us all this. Well, I did not come up with this. Let's read this and remind you that in March 2022, when Buhari, the evil sadist man, was there, he allowed terrorists to flourish. He allowed jihadis to operate with impunity. And maybe Tebamo, I posted it yesterday on my timeline. They are already preparing El Rufai for the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You can see why we have to start connecting the dots. Last year, if I'm right, last year, Nioba Ijebu, Lofi El Rufai, a criminal terrorist himself, to become one of a powerful Oloyekon Nijebu. You can see that Tinubu is ready to hand over power to the north, and that means that they are already, they call them the power brokers. We are sitting back while the power brokers are working tirelessly to now bring Peter Obi. I don't know whether Peter together. How that is going to happen, I don't know. They tried it, that they wanted to bring Peter Obi and Kwankwaso. That failed. But don't think that the politicians are sitting back and they care less about being affected by Yoruba Nation and by Yoruba Nation. They are already working towards the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. While me and you, we are here talking about things that are very, very, sometimes you ask, where we should focus and remind our people that it is not because of Fulani alone, it's because we are concerned that the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria after Tinubu might be more dangerous against we, the campaigners, you, the listeners, or the whole region called the South, the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So they are preparing Nigerians to get ready, get their PVC. Even if their PVC is not going to work, they will rig themselves in, and the next president will come in after Tinubu has completed his tenure. I pity Yoruba people because you don't know what the 2022 headline: Treasury sanctioned 6 individuals. If 6 people can transfer up to $800,000 back to Nigeria, funding Boko Haram. Yoruba Nation. Yoruba Nation. But 6 people, where they find the money, I don't know. I don't know. But they were able to send $800,000 back to Nigeria to make sure that our life become miserable. And you are saying that you want to go and invest in Nigeria. As a Yoruba man diaspora, I pity you. I pay attention at what Sodere Kakojade Katon camera. I saw the Kunle Afolayan movie. I saw the Awon sister Tonse movie. Ati gbagbe pe reality inti oba deba imu lono deba kinni. Awa ninu danger aden miji ara baba kiti latara General wa Igboho Osha, latara Otunba Demola, the deputy of the YSDM, latara Dr. Kebiorun Kosi, Iya Jagun, gbogbo yin tẹ́ wà nílé, latara pé àwọn kan ní àti dáwó àníṣe mọ́, ó ti sú wa. No problem. Nobody is coming to help you or save you. You fight back. And when I mean fight heavily with everything we know. Àdúrà ló mọ̀ ṣe ni, ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe àdúrà yẹn tó pọ̀ ní púpọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ ló mọ̀ sọ ni, jáde kí ọ̀nà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ̀rọ̀, má fi dídà wa nìkan. Because ó lè jẹ́ pọ̀rọ̀ tiẹ̀ ló máa lọ ju ti Koiki lọ. Don't think that ọ̀rọ̀ ti Koiki nìkan ló ń lọ. It could be you. But you are sitting back and saying, ṣe bá ọ̀rọ̀ ń ṣe èmi ò lè sọ̀rọ̀. We are all in danger. And Tinubu care less about that danger as I speak to you right now. Mo kí bàbá mi Mutiu Ahmed. Once again, share the program, and I can see that many of you are watching. 100 people watching us, 24 people is just liking it. It shows that ìyẹn tún cost wa lówó nísìn kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lọ thumbs up sórí ètò. Tẹ́ ẹ bá tẹ̀ ní wò tán, ẹ thumbs up kẹ́dẹ̀ jáde. You are finding it very difficult. I don't know what is happening with us. Ní àníkẹ́ fún wa lówó, ẹ fún wa lówó, kẹ́ tún thumbs up lórí program, the thumbs up. Some of you cannot even share the program onto your timeline. That is how scared some of us are. No problem. Àwa kan kúkú wà far away. Ìyà máa jẹ gbogbo wa náà ni. Ẹ má tẹ̀sán pọ̀ lọ́ọ̀ ní jẹ́ kí ìyà jẹ wá, ìyà máa jẹ gbogbo wa pátá. Àtẹ̀mí àtẹ̀yìn, ìyà máa jẹ gbogbo wa ká tó débi tá à ń lọ. Ṣé rò pé ìyà ò ní jẹ́ mi náà ni? Ìbí family mi wà nílé. Tí bá lè ṣe fún wọn ni máa ṣe fún wọn. Let's read further. According to the United States Department of Treasury, sanctioned 6 individuals that are Nigerians of origin from the northern part of Nigeria, probably Fulani side of Nigeria, probably not Hausa, I don't know. but all their names indicate that they are from the north. These 6 individuals, do you know what they were doing? Do you know what the 6 individuals were doing? They were raising money. How did they come up with 800,000? March 25th, 2022. According to the Washington today, the United States Department of the Treasury's Office of Foreign Asset Control, OFAC, back to back, BDC because I want to control BDC. These 6 individuals are connected to Nigeria. This was 2 years ago. The same Boko Haram named the Chief of Commander of Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is now giving the all clear because it is in one society. Because what to go through the normal thing that they need to do, and they've now reformed. Even in UK, you do not allow terrorists to be out there. You lock them for as much as they can. But in Nigeria, just allow terrorists to go, pat them at the back. But if you don't say terrorists, listen, you go on the normal road. The police is terrorizing you. We saw that during the NSAS. We saw the SARS as they were killing, kidnapping, making sure that many of you, your lives were unbearable. Even if you don't agree with the disintegration of Nigeria, you were still being terrorized by the same security, even up to 2024. But today, Tinubu say, allow them to go, longer terrorists. And you are telling me to shut up, Abibeko. No problem. All the 6 were found guilty of establishing a Boko Haram cell in the United Arab Emirates to raise funds for and provide material assistance to Boko Haram insurgency in Nigeria. Èèyàn mẹ́fà. Do you understand what that means? Who were they talking to? What is the agenda? So you want only the question we should ask is, àwọn mẹ́fà yìí, àwọn wo ló ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ ní Dubai, àwọn wo ló ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ outside Dubai? Kí ni agenda wọn tó fi make sure pé ilẹ̀ tí àwọn wà tó jẹ́ pé tiwa wọ́n destabilize it? What is the agenda? Because everything in life has an agenda. The agenda is make sure that you fund the people on the ground to kill as many people, chase them out of their community, chase them out of their society, even fund them up to the political part of Nigeria. The politics. Because these are the same people funding the politics that some of you are now saying, more politician. Most of the politicians knows what is happening with terrorism in Nigeria, but they refuse to tell you because they are all part of the game. According to the Office of the Foreign Asset Control, OFAC, action follow arrest, persecution, and designations in the United Arab Emirates as far back as September 2021 before they were now given sentence in 2022. Demonstrating the commitment of the Emirate government. There's a network glitch. That is the reason why it keeps going back to back. Still have to pay them £85 with action. The United States joins the United Arab Emirates in targeting financing networks of mutual concern, said Under Secretary of Treasury Brian Nelson. The Treasury continues to target financial facilitators of terrorist activity worldwide. We welcome multilateral action on this Boko Haram network to ensure that it is not able to move any further funds through the international financial system. I'm sure they are probably moving the money through another system. According to the OFAC, designated Ado Musa, Saliu Yusuf Adamu, Bashir Ali Yusuf, Mohammed Ibrahim Isa, Ibrahim Ali Hassan and Suraju Abubakar Muhammad. None of these names are Igbo name. None of these names are Edo name. None of these names are Ishekiri name. None of these names are Yoruba name. All these names are people from the northern part of Nigeria funding terrorists. But rather, Igbo Lembaja, we are fighting the Igbos when money is moving into Nigeria, funding terrorists to the tune of $800,000. Saliu Yusuf Adamu and Suraju Abubakar Muhammad were sentenced to life imprisonment. Remember that these were just financial people. I want to finance it. They've sentenced them to life imprisonment. But President Bola Tinubu is now saying that people that have committed crime, people that have killed innocent Nigerians, we should allow them back in the society. And that is the same country you want us to continue to live with. Wow. The thinking and the myopic thinking of many Nigerians today. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. People that are just being financed, I want to talk on one finance, last song. They've sentenced them to life imprisonment. Life, complete life. They don't have any reason to come out. These are not people that have carried gun. Well, I mean, initially they carried gun. But the only difference is they were operating from United Arab Emirates. This is America. Go and read the headline from the Punch newspaper. And the headline says, reintegrating terrorists into society is a dangerous, according to the ex-soldier tell federal government. Let me read that quickly so that I can buttress what I was reading from the US Treasury. And it goes like this. Some retired soldiers, which, I not be retired soldier, but I love, putting on the camouflage. And don't ask me why I put it on, because it is just normal outfit here in the United Kingdom. Some retired soldiers have again, it's not the first time they are warning the government. Remember that Comrade OLAYOMI warned the government. All the security analysts, Mokiyawa Juliet, Mokiyawa Oluwafunsho Moses, Olaleye, Iyami Folashade Ojo, Mokibugwele and Konse. And shout out to some of you that I might probably not see your comment. I'll catch it up later. But for now, let's focus on the program. This is not the first time. This was how they advised Buhari, but we now knew that killed innocent Nigerians. And that is why over 28,000 Yoruba people were massacred, killed by terrorists. I don't have the numbers for the rest of those that are Nigerians. But the retired soldiers have again, on suffer President Bola Tinubu, she ìgbésẹ̀ tí Buhari gbé lò wọ́n náà fẹ́ gbé. Ṣé ọ̀nà tí Buhari gbà ni wọ́n náà fẹ́ gbà ni? Ibi wo ni làákàyè ó kàwé díẹ̀ ju Buhari lọ. Gàmbàrí ni Buhari málà ni, Fúlàní málà ni, is a sadist, dead or alive. Ìwọ má tún lọ through party yẹn, ṣe ni Tinubu ò gbọ́. Tinubu náà wọn ò gbọ́, ó náà wọn máa tẹ̀síwájú láti make sure pé gbogbo àwọn terrorist tó bá ti mú kọ́kọ́ fún wọn ní training díẹ̀díẹ̀ méjì mẹ́ta fún oṣù mélòó kan kọ́dẹ̀ dáhùn sínú society pé bìkọ́ wọ́n ní yìnbọn mọ́ wọ̀dẹ̀ ní jíyàn gbé mọ́ wọ̀dẹ̀ ní pààyàn mọ́ nítorí pé wọ́n ti swear allegiance pẹ̀lú Quran. And I'm asking myself, Mokiyawa Buki, Gele Mua, Eshe Gonima, how did we get to this situation? Sheun Lawal, welcome to the program. Eba fi Kofi Sita, easy very Kofi. How did we get to this stage? I know you don't like us. I don't know why, because we're saying the truth. But is it okay? Those that finance, I want to finance Lasson, which is a big part of terrorism, they sentence them to life. But people that have now killed, allow people to become IDP, internet display persons. Bola Tinubu is now doing the same thing Buhari is doing, allowing them to go back to the society. Okay, when they go back to the society, where do you think they're coming? They are coming closer to you. Ìwọ tó ń sọ pé kò sí ìtọ́kùn pẹ̀lú Yorùbá nation, àwọn tó ń sọ ìwọ́n ń bọ̀ lágbélágbé ẹ̀lẹ́ ẹ̀. They are coming closer to you. Ìwọ ló pé wọ́n ní wá, ó dìgbà tó bá gbọ́ pé wọ́n pààyàn kan níbẹ̀ ní ta ló pa. Wọ́n á ní bọ̀bọ́ yẹn, ó dà pé terrorist ní tẹ́lẹ̀ o. Some retired soldiers have again, Mokiyawa Margaret Ibijoke. We should remember always that President Bola Tinubu is a member of the APC party. He openly promised to continue from the point Buhari finished the job. Now I understand. They have again warned President Bola Tinubu of the federal government to be careful. The word careful means that mashe now, madongo. You can't bring people that are terrorists and say you put them back in the society. For what reason? Moki baba mi Olawale Obafemi, Moki yami Elaine, Moki gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa, ìyá wa Comfort Ologunja and Jira One and many of you. Be careful with his decision to rehabilitate and reintegrate some repentant terrorists who have gone through the government de-radicalization program called Operation Safe Corridor. So what Tinubu is doing is the continue. Number one, Tinubu should have scrapped that Operation Safe Corridor. As soon as he became the president, he scrapped that and said, anybody that is a terrorist found, pick up as terrorists, will lock them up for the rest of their life. Remember that Kuje prison was infiltrated. Up till now, those terrorists, we don't know where they are. But the one that the military, the genuine military, we still have the genuine military, okay? Not all of them are criminals. And I speak to them a lot across the 36 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And they show me video call right inside the military barracks. And I'm not joking. But what I'm trying to say is that the genuine one that have been taking terrorists from the forest, captured them on the highway, they brought them into the government. And the President Bola adding terrorists. And this is Koikimedia as we continue our campaign for Yoruba Nation. I care less about how you want to fix Nigeria. I don't care about anything in Nigeria. I am more concerned about the indigenous people. But many of you are not concerned. You are being distracted. Mukia Bola robot. And today, whether you agree with the disintegration of Nigeria or not, I agree with terrorists, because what you go through training in society. Okay, you agree with that? Whether you're a diaspora or not, you could be caught up one day with the same people. So let's go back again. It's very windy outside, but the weather is very good. I could see children probably on their way back from church with balloons. There's people at the bus stop. There's a lot. It's a very quiet Sunday. It's an holiday period. Many Baba mi Oyewole Ademolani. Let's share this nation. God bless Oduduwa nation. Yami abose deni Oduduwa agbewa konigbe odale lashedumare. Once again, as you're joining the program, remember to share. I know this is not the kind of content that you want. You love the one where they're going to do fracas. But LA is more about our lives. The insecurity. Because kosi country to fail kobatini security. Please do not attempt to go there. It's a waste of time. And this is why we are different from all other platforms, because we focus on what matters. Yes, it's good. I do sometimes go and sit down and watch some of these fracas, you know, but at the end of the day, Boko Haram sponsor. Yami Ruka at the moment, welcome to the program. I keep having problem with my Twitter. It keeps going in and out because it's the internet glitch. And I think it's because of the wind as well, so we're not affected. Bátẹ́gùn yẹn ṣe ń fẹ́ látàárọ̀ nìyẹn, kọ́lọ́n kó jẹ́ kó bá wa lára mu. Mo kí gbogbo àwa gbé àkó òǹgbàdẹ̀ kó palẹ̀mọ́ ọdún náà, àbọ̀rọ̀ àbọ̀yè o. Operation Safe Corridor was something that was set up during President Buhari, and Tinubu should have scrapped it as soon as he became the president. But rather than scrap it, they are using the same Operation Safe Corridor now to want to release more terrorists. Seen Nigeria Operation Safe Corridor, according to a group called Crisis Group. So let's see what I can come up from there. And this was an article written in 2016. Nigeria launched a program. This was 1 year after Tibuari was in 2016. Nigeria, under the idiot Sadis Buhari, launched a program to help láti ṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́ for the Boko Haram factors, reintegrate them back into a civilian life. Rare interview with the de-radicalization facility graduate reveals some encouraging signs, but also troubling patterns that, if not addressed, could endanger the initial future. Okay, Silver Badmus. Machine. Àwọn èèyàn kọ́ rò pé bí àtẹ níṣẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ àníṣẹ́ jókòó síbẹ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ pariwo tátátátá àtúnlọ bá tún dọ̀la ẹ̀tún lọ gbọ́tẹ̀ lòmíì. Our future is hanging. Àdẹ́ni kí future tó hanging kó má bàa já wálẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká ra gbé wálẹ̀ kó olúkálukú máa lọ́nlọ̀ ẹ̀ Yorùbá báyìí. Tí ìbàtẹ̀ tí ká ti kù yìí. Very nice bike, motorbike. The fact that the beginning of this article, only in 2016, ni Buhari ló ní kó launch Operation Safe Corridor fún àwọn terrorists, Boko Haram, ISIS, jihadists, tó bá ti mú kó fún wọn láyè, kó reintegrate wọn padà sínú society. Only tó bá sọ pé 4,000 ni wọ́n ti dá padà sí society, ẹ ṣáà multiply it by 3, if not a little bit more. Ó ní program yìí fáwọn defector táwa accept wọn pé wọ́n ti change, wọ́n kì í ṣe terrorist mọ́. It doesn't matter whatever our views on them before, wọ́n ṣe terrorist mọ́, wọ́n ti gbé aṣọ tó dá wọ̀, aṣọ ọmọlúàbí. And on that note, ká má bá wọn jà mọ́, ká fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ torí pé èèyàn dáadáa ni wọ́n. We have been deceived for a very long time. But àwọn tó wà educated láàrin wa, àwọn tó jẹ́ èèyàn ńláńlá láàrin ọmọ Yorùbá, àwọn wá ní security. So that tí terrorists bá tẹ̀ pàdé wọn lọ́nà kó tó pa wọn, at least wá ti pa díẹ̀ nù àwọn security tó gbé dání. Mo kí Mr. Ọláwálé Ọbáfẹ́mi. Ó wá ní òun rí àwọn graduate bá sọ̀rọ̀ láàrin wọn. Ó ní but àwọn kọ́kọ́ wà àwọn ṣe mọ̀ pé àmì ó wà very very important. Olúkálukú ló ní àmì tó fi ń rí nǹkan. Mo dẹ̀ ti sọ fún ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ní ẹ̀gbẹ́ àgbọ̀ nípa pé kí Yorùbá kó pín. Ẹ ní kọ́lọ́run Ọlọ́run tẹ̀ ń sìn kò ń ṣe Ọlọ́run tèmi ń sìn o. Tèmi ń sìn lè yàtọ̀ sí ìtí wọn sìn. Ọlọ́run sìn ẹ ní kó fi àmì ẹ̀wọ̀n ẹ pé ṣé ìlú yìí ṣé àpà together ìgbà tó máa pín làákọ̀ mọ̀. Bọ́ ṣé àṣẹ ó di pé a fẹ́ release wọn síta àbí wọ́n ti resolve it. Wọ́n kọ̀ decide pé ẹ kọ́kọ́ release kọ́kọ́ fi wọ́n síta. I'm in the comment section. Ó ní àwọn àmì tó ń rí àwọn troubling patterns tí wọ́n bá address ẹ̀ dáadáa, tí wọ́n bá tó bá lè yẹ̀wò dáadáa. It could ó ṣeéṣe kó wà endanger. Ẹ bá mi kọ sínú comment section kí ló ń pè ní endanger ní Yorùbá. Ní ọjọ́ iwájú fúnran àwọn let's read further. And like I said, this is on www.crisisgroup.org. What is new with a question mark? Ó ní ewu, okay? Ó ní ewu lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Ọmọ ẹ̀kọ́ mi ò gbọ́ Yorùbá dáadáa, no problem. Ìwọ̀nba tí mo gbọ́ yẹn náà la máa fi communicate. Mo kí Alhaji Abalajáde ní Fasilatu Adeleke Ẹ̀kábọ̀mọ̀. Ó máa léwu endanger. So in tó léwu yẹn ni káwa wá jókòó tì torí pa fẹ́ satisfy conscience Tinubu. Ṣé Tinubu ti satisfy conscience ẹni? The president. In tó fẹ́ gangan nìyẹn, but ó ti ń prepare lòmí sílẹ̀ tó ń pè ní El-Rufai lọ́jọ́ iwájú. because hotspots ain't only affected. I've turned the hotspot on off because only man interfered because my hotspot was on and I have the as well, so it could be, you know. We are 1 hour 46 minutes into the program, and I'd like to appreciate every single one of you that have joined us as we continue to enlighten and educate and ask the question why Boko Haram and all the terrorists are now being allowed to be released back in the society under Operation Safe Corridor. Citizens alike. It also offers from serious problems that are testing donors' confidence and likely deterring potential defectors. Why does it matter? Question mark. Operation Safe Corridor reflects Nigeria authority growing recognition that they cannot beat Boko Haram by military means alone. So what they are saying now is that if you think that if you think that they can beat Boko Haram, the Nigerian military, forget it. It is never going to happen. It is never going to happen, okay? So don't ever think that they will beat Boko Haram with the military. So they are giving another option that maybe they should use Operation Safe Corridor. We're going to close this and then I'm going to start it from another mobile phone. Once again, shout out to many of you that have joined us on this Sunday broadcast. Oh, no. Because I can switch this card. Let's turn this back on again. As you're joining the program, remember to share and invite your loved ones to come and listen to President Tinubu giving the all clear for Boko Haram terrorists to be released back into the society. What authorities improving the program will serve the federal government objectives of facilitating the defections of Boko Haram. Let's try to adjust this properly. That's better. But unless its problems are fixed, the program could lose external support and domestic viability. What are the problems? Egbomi, Uncle Midada, Samson Akinolani, in my opinion, President Bola Tinubu is a puppet president governed by the Northern Cabal. And you couldn't have said it more than what you've said. Thank you so much. And let's pin that. Moke Egbomi Karun, we are Biodun. Once again, shout out to many of you that are joining us. What should be done? Question mark. Have they done all these things? Government, I don't know. Authority, well, if they have done it, the Buhari was a failure during the 8 years tackling insecurity. Even if you disagree with the disintegration of Nigeria, do you agree that they shall bring terrorists back in the society? I'm sure many of you will say no. Plenty. What should be done? Authorities should improve intake procedures to filter out civilians who do not belong in the program. They should take urgent steps to ease conditions of confinement, and what we are not giving Tinubu. We are not giving Tinubu the support because Tinubu should not be encouraging terrorists. How you doing, man? You all right? Egbomi Samson, Tinubu cannot do Nipakwe release among terrorists, including by persecuting some jihadists captured by security officers. You know what they've done in the last 8 years of Buhari and the 10 months of Tinubu? They've literally not persecuted any one of them. So what they are doing is they capture them and they try to reintegrate them back in the society. And the Nigerian government in 2016 to receive voluntary defectors from fractions of military activity in the country northeast. The program faced problems. Authorities channel into safe corridor far too many civilians fleeing Boko Haram areas, unjustly mislabeling them jihadists, clogging the system and putting off donors. Who are the donors? We don't know. The word donors are people that are funding and supporting the Nigerian government to radicalize the terrorists. So who is the funder? Who is the donor? I don't know the names, but they didn't tell us. Both a concern in its own right and a deterrent for those who might follow their path. Despite improvement, the reintegration of the factors into the society can be bumpy. The program is also controversial, with critics arguing that it amounts to amnesty for terrorists. For safe corridor to thrive, the government will need to better screen out civilians, protect participants more effectively, reintegrate graduates into society. It should also work harder to persuade the public of the program's merit. The Nigerian government created the Operation Safe Corridor in 2016 after concluding that it will not be able to defeat Boko Haram insurgency. So Buhari said this clear that it cannot defeat Boko Haram. So the only thing it can do is provide Operation Safe Corridor, and we take you back into the society. And thousands of them are now working across every part of Nigeria today. Which it has been battling since 2009. By the program's core target is low-level jihadists, the recruiters who perform combatant or non-combatant role that are terrorists. Ogbona sọ pé problem everywhere in Nigeria. And thank you so much for joining us, every one of you. The program's core target is the low-level jihadist recruits who perform combatant and non-combatant roles are important to the daily functioning of Boko Haram two main factions. The Jama'atu al-Sunnah Lidawa Awati wa Jihad, people committed to propagation of prophet teaching and jihad. Islamic State in West African province, ISWAP, are even more deadly than the Boko Haram. There is an ample reason for this recruit to seek an exit when the factors leave the jihadist faction. It is normally due to mounting skepticism of the insurgency prospect, exposure to atrocious violence, the danger posed to them and their family, aversion to the factions, unfair, brutal, internal politics, the lack of material gain after years of service for some, the desire to escape a movement they were coercing into joining. And we know that some of them were forced to join these terrorists. But while some donors and officials of the program might be able to facilitate thousands of defection, it has struggled to bring in the right people to debate of the hundreds of individuals who have gone through Operation Safe Corridor or currently in the program called Operation Safe Corridor that the former President Muhammadu Buhari brought in to bring terrorists and turn them into a normal civilians people. Rather, they are civilians who threw up Boko Haram's yoke and who, after detention by security forces, were mistakenly categorized as militant and channeled into Safe Corridor. The program has also been something of a catch for all for a wide range of other individuals, including minor suspects of being child soldiers, a few high-level jihadists, and alleged insurgents whom the government tried and failed to prosecute. So the government continued to prosecute some of them, but they failed to get them into the prison. And I've just told you, let's go back and leave that again. Let's go back to United Arab Emirates. We told you that when they found that Abdurrahman, Ado Musa, Saliu Yusuf Adamu, Bashir Aliu Yusuf, Muhammad Ibrahim Isa, Ibrahim Ali Hassan, and Suraju Abubakar Muhammad. In 2021, these 6 individuals, to the tune of $800,000, were sending money from Dubai, United Arab Emirates, to their colleagues operating the BDC, Bureau de Change in Nigeria. When they were eventually captured, they were sentenced to life imprisonment by the Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. But in Nigeria, we are using kid glove to fight terrorism. You can see the difference. These ones were the one funding, but the one killing on the ground, Tinubu say, let them go. They are now free. Allow them to go. They don't have to be in prison. Allow them to go. Go and let them live in Ijebu-Ode, let them live in Enugu, let them live in any part of Nigeria. When we get Yoruba Nation, we can first and foremost defend that territory against some of these criminals. When we capture them, they will be in the rest of their life in the prison. Nobody's going anywhere. Just like some of us were kept in the UK prison for 15 years because of immigration. You could not travel out. Do you see why we are saying that we want Yoruba Nation? But for Yoruba Nation, you are likely to live your life with some of these terrorists, as we say today, because they are already being released and they continue to release them. So let's go back to Abu Dhabi. According to the pursuant to the Executive Order 13224, as amended, which target terrorists, leaders, and officials of terrorist groups, those providing support to terrorists or act of terrorism, the United States Department of State designated Boko Haram as a foreign terrorist organization and specially designated global terrorist on November 14, 2013. But we are here today shouting to Yoruba people that the danger is becoming unbearable. But the Yoruba people, rather than support Professor Adebanji Akintoye, rather than support us to ask for the right of the Yoruba people to defend and protect that territory. One of Nigeria, the more you want Nigeria, the more you are likely to be affected by the terrorist operation in Nigeria. Boko Haram network in United Arab Emirates. The United Arab Emirates Federal Court of Appeal in Abu Dhabi convicted Abdurrahman Ado Musa, Saliu Yusuf Adamu, Bashir Aliu Yusuf, Mohammed Ibrahim Isa, Ibrahim for transferring $782,000 from Dubai to Boko Haram in Nigeria. My God. Saliu Yusuf Adamu, Suraju Abubakar Muhammad were sentenced to life imprisonment for violation of United Arab Emirates anti-terrorism law. Abdurrahman Ado Musa, Bashir Aliu Yusuf, Mohammed Ibrahim Isa, Ibrahim Ali Hassan were all sentenced to 10 years in prison, followed by deportation out of that country. We don't want terrorists in their country. So when they serve their sentence, they will deport them back to Nigeria. But when they go to Nigeria, Tinubu will welcome them back and say, welcome back, you have served your sentence, just go back into the society and live with the rest of Yoruba people and the rest of Nigerians. Today, designation will prevent this individual from being used further to support terrorism. But we know that they are sleeper cells. This is just one cell that Boko Haram have created across the world. So what about because they've captured these 6 individuals, multiply 6 by million of them that are operating. Why do you think that they collect 10 million from you, 60 million from you? Do you know that what they do? They convert that naira back to dollar, from what I was told. So when terrorists kidnap any one of you in Nigeria, cash.
For their oligarchic mentality. I talk like no other pastor talk. I talk like no other pastor talk. Because I have seen into governance, I have seen into the church. And I know where the problem is in this country. Are you hearing me? They may not like what I'm saying, but they cannot dispute the truth. This country cannot go on like this. Okay, I was talking about those who migrated. I don't blame those that want to japa. You know, initially I was saying don't japa. Do you hear me say that again? Japa if you want to japa. Because you look at the country and say, what future? If it goes on like this, what future? If it goes on like this, civil war is imminent. If it goes on like this, military intervention is imminent. Do we want to go back to that? No, something must happen. I have always believed that something must happen. Do you see the way we pray in this church? make Nigeria one. We don't. Nigeria is not one, and it can never be one. We are different nations tied together by force. We should still be one country, but let everyone govern itself the way he likes. Are you hearing me? Let the Niger Delta have their oil. Let the East have their resources. Let the Yoruba people have their resources. Let the North have their resources. Let them manage their security. Give them state police. Let everybody guard his borders. Let everybody generate his economy. Why must we generate oil in the Niger Delta and take it to the North? Why must we generate IGR here, or the VATs, and take it to the North? That generate nothing. The 10 key northern states have Sharia. Sharia says no to alcohol. Sharia says no to tobacco. But alcohol and tobacco is what gives us VAT here. And you take the money from there to spend where you say you don't want, but you like the money.
Fraud.
Fraud. Fraud. Fraud. Fraud. Fraud. Fraud. Unfairness. Injustice. Where did we sit down to make Nigeria 36 states?
Where
did we sit?
Where?
Nigeria was negotiated three regions. North,
South.
West, East, 1963. By plebiscite, Midwest came in. Where did we sit down and say we shall be 36 states?
We didn't start anywhere.
And the biggest one taken to the North. More local governments. Then we came with federal character. You are qualified, but from the tribe you came from, you can't be qualified.
It's not.
Now, you can't pass any law in that National Assembly without Northern approval. They are in larger quantity. Deliberately made so. So how do we go from there?
Well, you've just listened to that. Let's come back into the program. If you're joining us for the first time, we are discussing All-Star Yoruba. Thank you so much. Comrade Plan B said the government is reintegrating those terrorists because they want to use them as sacrifice lamb for the self-determination people. Good afternoon, good evening, Iyami Ogini Fiki. Thank you so much. If you're new to the platform, I am OLAYOMI KOIKI, and what we discuss on this platform is the Yoruba people right to self-determination. Nigeria has passed its due date, and whatever has passed the due date, if you consume it, you are likely to have enough diarrhea. You are even likely to die along the line. That is why many Nigerians have died, because of so many things that shouldn't have happened in a normal society. Education, our identity, healthcare, the economy can never grow. It doesn't matter what best is put in place. But this Sunday broadcast, the 7th of April 2024, at exactly almost 5 p.m. local time in London, where I am reporting from, I am discussing why President Tinubu will continue with Operation Safe Corridor. Over 10, 12, we don't have the numbers, thousands of Boko Haram, ISWAP jihadis have been released with the Operation Safe Corridor. We've been discussing why this is happening. Ex-military officer, retired soldier rather, says they gain one federal government. Who is the federal government? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, not to do the same thing that the evil man Buhari did. By going through this system, setting up Operation Safe Corridor, the future is not bright. You might not agree with the disintegration, the dissolution of Nigeria, but I don't think you would like to accept the union where terrorists are brought back into the society. Your children can be caught up, your family can be caught up, my family can be caught up. This is why we got to wake up and ask Tinubu, why is he still having Operation Safe Corridor as something that should not be in motion today? Unspent Barry, good afternoon. So let's read back, and this coming from the Punch newspaper, if you want to go and reference it yourself. So I'm going to go straight without any interruption, then I'll continue to talk about where and more of what we picked up along the line, where over $700,000 to $800,000 was sent for a very long time, whether in bulk, whether in stages, through the BDC, the same BDC that me and you, they use in Nigeria. Some were using them for Operation Boko Haram terrorists. They were eventually captured. Some of them were given life imprisonment, while some will be given 10 years and they'll be deported back out of United Arab Emirates. You can see why our United Arab Emirates does not want to now put permit for Nigerians, even as much as many of us are innocent people, but we've been caught up with this branding called Nigeria. Nigeria is not a brand that will work. It does not matter the kind of God that you worship. Nigeria is dead. And even if they want to revive it, we will kill it again. Some retired soldiers have again warned the federal government to be very careful with its decision to rehabilitate, reintegrate some repentant terrorists who have gone through the government de-radicalization program known as Operation Safe Corridor that was set up in 2016. The Operation Safe Corridor, which began under the former President Muhammadu Buhari. His father was from Niger, a Fulani man. The mother was from the northern part known as the Hausas. Buhari has run for several years, and no fewer than 4,000 ex-Boko Haram members went through this program. In Gombe State alone, for instance, in September 2023, no fewer than 2,168 ex-Boko Haram terrorist members were said to have passed through the de-radicalization, rehabilitation, reintegration camp at the Kwame local government area of Gombe State in the last 8 years. I will give you the numbers again. 2,168 Boko Haram terrorists passed through in Gombe State. In January of last year, no fewer than 613 rehabilitated. Sorry, my screen went blank for a short second. 613 rehabilitated terrorist Boko Haram, also undergoing what they call de-radicalization rather, without an S, were scheduled to be handed over by the military authorities to their respective state governors. So after they've done this rehabilitation, 613, they now give them back to all the states that they've said that they come from. Even though we know majority of them are non-Nigerians, but because they have claimed Nigeria for a very long time and nobody have been able to cross-check whether they are true Nigerians. We saw that during the election, many people at the PVC brought in to vote for a particular party of their choice. Also, let's take you back in July 2022. Some repentant Boko Haram members, despite renouncing their membership of the terror group, were accused of having contact with their former colleagues, supplying them intelligence. I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit. In terms of ní July 2022, àwọn tí wọ́n ti gbà pé wọ́n ti repent, tí wọ́n ti go through this radicalization, rehabilitation, whatever, eventually, we'll find out pé lára wọn, they were still giving intelligence back to the same set of group of people. You can see why we are concerned that Kílódé tí Tinubu tún accept pé kó release wọn padà sí society. I am not in Tinubu's government, but I'm bringing this out fún ẹ̀yin tí ẹ disagree with the Yoruba nation, because these are some of why we are saying that the future is very, very bleak should we remain in Nigeria. Some of them were also accused of acting as spies for terrorist group in the past. If you live in UK, you work within the UK government, and you are passing information to any other government, you become a danger to the country where you live. If you're caught, you will go down for it for a very long time. We now found out that terrorists that have been repented, according to the federal government, are now still becoming spy, giving information to the terrorists. This is the society that you're living in today in 2024. Reacting on the matter, retired Colonel Hassan Santan Sambo stated, if we have mobilized and brought them down, brought them terrorists out for rehabilitation, it is already too late. There's nothing we can do but to go the whole hog, go through the entire demobilization, de-radicalization, and rehabilitation. However, if I were the commander-in-chief Only Tombawa ni position President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Maybe you should put in the comment section if you are in the same situation as the president of Nigeria, what will you do? Will you allow terrorists to be released back into society after they've become rehabilitated, or whatever they call would have done? Don't bring anybody for any damn rehabilitation. This man is saying that Toba Jekpo Olonwa position Tinubu, I would never accept this to be done. How do you rehabilitate people that are terrorists and spoon feed them? This is what is happening in Nigeria. If you're not in Nigeria, the federal government of Nigeria under President Bola Tinubu has now given the all clear under Operation Safe Corridor that was set up during Buhari to allow terrorists to be released back into the society. I pity a lot of you. That is why we are seeing many terrorists putting on the Nigerian military outfit and attacking innocent Nigerians, whether you agree with dissolution or not. You want a battle? Come get the battle. You have committed all kind of atrocities, and now you turn around and begging for forgiveness. Sekpe latara Quran forijiwa. I swear we did not go into terrorism anymore. But information told us that in 2022, the same set that were given that access to be repentant went back to be spied, went back to be given information. This is why I say we must remain focused on the ball. There are so many things that they're using to distract you inside Nigeria. Don't look at those distractions. Focus on the right of the Yoruba people under the leadership of Professor Adebanji Akintoye that says that Nigeria needs the courage to dissolve peacefully. I know most of you doesn't want us to dissolve out of Nigeria because you still want to fix Nigeria. Maybe we should listen to this as part of the program tonight because we have different time zones. It's 5 o'clock here in London. Let's listen to this for the benefit of those that are still in doubt that Nigeria will come back as a one great country. First of all, there's an hidden agenda that Nigeria will be Islamized, and that agenda is still far-fetched on the table. Whether you agree, whether you disagree, there is an agenda to Islamize every single one of us, and we must come out and say enough is enough. We are not interested to be part of it at all. Let's listen to this.
Religious Islamic element in the Yoruba ethnic group to use them to destabilize that mighty people who have built empires like Oyo and other places long before anything. But they are looking for some weak elements. Like Tinubu is a weak element. People think he's powerful, but he's a weak element in the Yoruba world. These are the weak element they want to use.
Now, we can realize that this interview was granted by this man called Kelly on Mayegun program some few months back. Cheko Tifion Tinubu is a weak element. Let me appreciate those of you that have joined us so far. Yawa Nike Decency say Yoruba Nation not going back. Omosho Gabriel, good afternoon to you. Mr. Mogbolamo, good afternoon. And Yami Abose the Len Konsumuki. She Tinubu is a weak element. Baba mi Olatunji Ade, thank you so much. Akim Ayodele, thank you so much. Before we come back to this video, as I was preparing the program, this came up on the Microsoft News Network because each time I'm going to prepare the program, you know, something comes up and I keep it there. Igbeson Toyin say, thank you so much for joining us. BRICS exit has made United Kingdom a low status nation, says David Miliband. The United Kingdom has lost influence since BRICS exit to become just one of the many middle powers in the world. This was a former Foreign Secretary, David Miliband, under the Labour Party. Writing for The Observer, Miliband, now the president and the chief executive of the International Rescue Committee, said that in order to reverse the decline, the UK needed to enter in new structures and commitment with the EU on foreign policy. Our relations in NATO are strong, but with the European Union, they are almost non-existent. And this is all the more glaring since the war in Ukraine has brought the EU and NATO closer together. UK is no longer part of the European Union. They exit in 2016 without a gunshot. Miliband now suggested that the UK government's downward trend could accelerate if Donald Trump was re-elected later this year. But he believed that even if Joe Biden wins a second term, the warning signs about America's willingness, patience, ability to provide active and continued strategic global leadership are still there. He added, in a world where the EU is shipping weapons to Ukraine, hosting 6 million Ukrainian refugees, is a major development actor, sits in the G20, and is a regulatory superpower in trade, climate, digital areas. We need our mindset to change. When are we going to change our own mindset that the Yoruba people have what it takes to stand as an independent country away from the contraction created by Britain in 1914 called the 1914 Amalgamation? And this is why Baba Akintoye said, again, Nigeria needs now the courage to dissolve peacefully. I understand, Pukwanua, we fall in love with Nigeria. We will still fall in love with a new nation that will be able to do exactly what we want. Some of you have argued that share the same set of people, not Luma the president, Luma the prime minister. No, we will be running a new system that will be able to work for you and me. It does not matter how long your life is in Nigeria, and I pray most of you have a long life, but according to the World Health Organization, you are not likely to survive 55 years old inside Nigeria due to so many factors. I did not create that, you will not. But I pray we all live up to our old age. And you can just go around and ask many people that have died for things that they should still be able to survive, whether whatever illness that they have. If you have a system that is working for you, you can still survive another 40 years, regardless, even if you have cancer. But the reason why many people are dying is because we don't have a good health care. And that automatically means that if you live in Japan, you're likely to survive 85 years old. So which one do you prefer? I know it's a tough one for you to hold on to. You want to hold on to the Nigeria that is not working, yet you do not want to accept that Nigeria has failed. Babami Edward says, I repeat it, if Tinubu turned Nigeria to London, but after 8 years, the Fulani will take over again, and we Yoruba will go back to the slave again, Yoruba nation is the answer. Abiodun Monday, shout out to you. Bolaji Jayo, Laima Binupope Kitoka commenting. And once again, there's more comment from Edward. If Tinubu, and I think it's the same thing, Nigeria cannot work even if they sell petrol at 50 naira and give us power electricity 24/7. Mokibaba Milen kan say, Ifa ni imole aye, aboru aboye, ajijangbara. Moke, my brother Akim Ayodele, and Olanipekun, wealthy plenty, Nibugo for local government. Omogbola all back, my brother, shout out to you. Like I said, bear with me, I'm just picking some of your comments. So, is Tinubu a weak element? I understand that we don't want Nigeria to break, but is Tinubu a weak element? That he cannot take decision as the commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria today. We might not like him, we might not agree with him, but what about him taking measures, at least to protect every Nigerian until Nigeria will finally decide whether it will stand or it will fail? Let's listen to that interview that Mayegun granted to this gentleman.
Elements, religious, Islamic element in the Yoruba ethnic group, to use them to destabilize that mighty people who have built empires like Oyo and other places long before anything. But they are looking for some weak elements. The Tinubu is a weak element. People think he's powerful, but he's a weak element in the Yoruba.
People think Tinubu is, thank you so much, Blue_Falcon. And shout out to you, those of you in the state, Canada, and the 7th continent of the world. Silver Badmos, Ikechukwu, the Biafra, and the non-Biafras, depending on what you believe, If you believe in Nigeria, I don't have problem with you, but I have problem when you are not speaking out, especially when terrorists are being released back in the society. They are distracting you with so many things in Nigeria. Your problem is not Bobrisky. Your problem is this. Your problem is this. And I'm not here defending Bobrisky. I am just saying that Boko Haram terrorists is more deadly than Bobrisky. And I'm sure you understand what I mean by that. And I live in a society where we respect the LGQ and we respect the lesbian. You might not agree with them. That is your own cup of tea. I live with them in this society and I respect them for their views. And if you're going to live in UK and Europe, you would have to accept that, even if you're a Christian, Muslim, or a traditionalist. I know in Africa, you might not agree with my views on this, but that is the society that I decided to live, and I will respect that. But I am more worried that the book UK will not allow a terrorist to be allowed back in the society. So you can see why many Nigerians are focusing on things that they should not focus on, even if you disagree with the Biafra, the Middle Belt. Tinubu is a weak element. Weak element is in the government. In the next couple of days, by the end of this month, Tinubu will be 11 months. He has not come out to say that we are calling them terrorists. Rather, they continue to call them bandits. Shout out to your children, bend over. I hope you guys are enjoying the holiday. At least you got another week to go before school resumes back a week after. Let's listen again more.
These are the weak elements they want to use to be able to push the Islamic agenda. People have been telling agenda.
So people have been saying that there's no Islamic agenda in Nigeria. Okay, there's no Islamic agenda, but why release Fulani terrorists? The Fulani terrorists, these are not Igbo terrorists. These are not Yoruba terrorists. Oh, what do you mean that we should leave Tinubu alone? How am I going to leave Tinubu alone? So who am I going to be dealing with? Some of you need to understand when you put your comment that we should leave Tinubu money. We're telling you that something is not right. Tinubu should be the one to make this happen so that it doesn't affect you and me. We should leave Tinubu alone. What do you mean we should leave Tinubu alone? I don't understand. Mr. Agbaje Kolapo. Thank you, sir. Please leave Tinubu alone. Do you understand what I'm talking about at all? Abeko, jump into conclusion because you just came into the program, Eko Tinubu. Have you been listening to the program in the last 2 hours? Or you just jump into the conversation? Kimfi Tinubu Sile. What do you mean I should leave Tinubu alone? What kind of madness do we have in the society today? We are talking about people that are going to kill us. Tinubu has the power to stop it right now. You are telling me I should leave Tinubu alone. How did we get to where people cannot even listen to a particular program? If you've just joined the program, you listen first so that you can understand where you want to comment. I should leave Tinubu alone. Why do I need to leave Tinubu alone? So, even if we are going to carry gun and kill each other, we still have to go on the round table with Tinubu at some point. I should leave Tinubu alone. If you just come and listen to the program, sit back, understand the program. Oh, because Tinubu is a Yoruba man. So because he's a Yoruba man, he should allow terrorists to continue to kill every single one of us. Do you know that the people killing you in the forest could be the same terrorists that have been released in the society? Brain. Let's just sit back and understand. And let's listen again. Tinubu is a weak element. Chebobo, you are right in the scene. He's a weak element. Because if Tinubu is not a weak element, he should be doing exactly whatever he needs to do to at least minimize the insecurity in the country. At least we've not break away from Nigeria. So because we have not break away from Nigeria, there should be more killings and insecurity that many people have become unable to live a better life, especially those in the rural area. Once again, Mukibugu Alen Konse. Let's go back again and listen.
Elements, religious, Islamic element in the Yoruba ethnic
very weak
to
element.
use them to destabilize that mighty people who have built empires like Oyo and other places long before anything. But they are looking for some weak elements. Like Tinubu is a weak element. People think he's powerful, but he's a weak element in the Yoruba war. These are the weak elements they want to use to be able to push the Islamic agenda. People have been telling you that Islamic agenda is a lie. No, it's true. I can tell you that I was born a Muslim. My people have been Muslim since the 7th century. I'm a Madinga. And we have been Muslim. There is nobody in my ethnic group who is Christian. All my people are Muslim. And I study Islam in northern Nigeria. Okay. And I'm telling you, the agenda is to push that country toward Islamic agenda or destroy it completely. So,
okay. Put the country in an Islamic agenda or destroy it. Let's go back to United Arab Emirates when we talked about the 6 people. Do you know what it means that 6 people, 6 criminals, 6 terrorists sit down in United Arab Emirates, and within the 6, they were able to send up to 700, just give the exact figure. Maybe I should read that again. The United Arab Emirates Court of Appeal in Abu Dhabi convicted. The moment you are convicted for a crime. If you are not convicted, that means you are innocent. But these were convicted, 6, for transferring $782,000. That is just one cell. So does that not give us the impression now that there's an agenda to Islamize Nigeria or destroy it? So when some of you say that we are the one that wants to destroy Nigeria, these are the ones that wants to destroy Nigeria because they have an hidden agenda. And that hidden agenda means that they were funding terrorists from Abu Dhabi. Sanction and implication. As a result of today's action, all the property, interest in the property of the individuals named above and of any entity that they own directly or indirectly, 50% or more by them individually or with other block persons that are in the United States or in the possession or control of the United States person must be blocked and reported to the OFAC unless authorized by the general or specific license issued by the OFC or otherwise exempted by the OFC regulation. Generally prohibited all transactions by the U.S. person or within the United States, including transactions transiting the United States that involve any property or interest in property or designated or otherwise blocked person. That is why we keep telling you that we are not terrorists. The money that we are using to fund the movement is not for terrorists. It's for liberation of our people under Article 3 of the self-determination, which is an inalienable right. That is what makes us different. So if you think that you can report some of us to the authority, they look at what we are doing because they're not ready. You are the one that is stupid. Because they'll tell you that you're stupid. Don't you know that they are fighting for your future? You are even likely to be called that you are stupid. People are fighting and you are reporting them that they are doing terrorism, which is what the Nigerian media continue to propagate, especially the Biafra, that they are terrorists. Biafra is not a terrorist organization. I can sit down here and tell you that. You must be stupid. Whether you're a Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and you say Biafra is a terrorist organization, Money, you're a bomb bastard. I am a Yoruba man, and I say, tell me where IPOB is a terrorist organization. Idiot all over the place. If you hate them, doesn't mean we have to label them as terrorists. I am OLAYOMI KOIKI. Any Yoruba that say that IPOB is a terrorist organization, I call you out, you are a bomb bastard. Even if you are following my platform, calling them IPOB is a when we know the real terrorists on the ground. Very hypocrite Yoruba people. Yes, they have their issues. They are destroying our country. They are destroying our state. They do drugs. I cannot come and defend them on that. But don't call them terrorists. And we are stupid to have governors that cannot go after them when they are infiltrating fake drugs, fake material to damage the lives of people inside the Southwest. That we can go after them. But don't come and tell me that they're terrorists. You're a bomb bastard. I'm a Yoruba man. You might not agree with them, but don't call IPOB a terrorist organization. It's like telling them that they should call Yoruba people a terrorist organization. And already, a lot of indication pointed Buhari to Ebugbe, funding them to create havoc in the Southeast and labeling as terrorist organization under the IPOB. Idiot all over the place. Hey, this shorty. You think I need all the Yoruba people to come and support us because we will not say certain things? And it's shorty in Musofunyi. Bomb bastard. Let's be firm and say to the face of President Bola Tinubu that the real terrorists are the ones that are killing us, and we will not sit back when they continue to kill us. When the right time comes, we will know what to do. Idiot all over the place. And that is why Tinubu is a weak element. Very, very weak element. Let's listen again to this gentleman. Start again from the beginning.
Elements, religious, the Islamic element in the Yoruba ethnic group, to use them to destabilize that mighty people who have built empires like Oyo and other places long before anything. But they are looking for some weak elements.
Weak elements.
The Tinubu is a weak element. People think he's powerful, but he's a weak element.
Jagaban. He wants to be the real president. He's there now, Koni balls. He doesn't have the balls to say it the way it is. If he was the president and is the real president, he can give shot to anything, even if he doesn't want to disintegrate Nigeria for now. At least he can fight the Boko Haram in a true sense of a real Yoruba man. Idiot all over the place. Instead of us to call him, somebody's telling me that why am I calling Tinubu's name? And I've taken him out of the program. Even if you have been following me for a long time, if you put any nonsense comment there, I'll block your face out. You need that friend. Say I should keep my anger. I should keep my anger when people are frustrating, killing our people on the ground. I should keep my anger and I should stop cursing. Hey, this shori in Musofunyi, bomb bastard all over the place. Hey, the balls. And that's why they'll kill you in the forest. You'll be telling me this is the video of the people that kill you. Deal with them in the forest and turn them to manual. I don't need a video. Idiot all over the place. I want to release the These are the people that they come and put on the Nigerian military. You think that they are the Nigerian military because they've been integrated back in the society. When I was calling the names of people that were funding terrorists, did you hear Igbo's name there? Did you hear Yoruba name? Yes, they commit crime, just like Yoruba commit crime as well. Crime is committed by everybody. In Middlesbrough is one of the most dangerous places to live in UK. They are selling cocaine, they are selling gun. They are selling every goddamn thing. And that is Middlesbrough. Here in UK. Idiot all over the place. I need Tinubu, wrong. Somebody's telling me that why am I calling Tinubu's name? Idiot all over the place. You think I need your loyalty on this movement? I don't even trust anybody. I trust just myself and my wife alone and Igbowo and Babakitoye. Bomb bastard. Most of you that will compromise at the long end. Most of you that will end up killing somebody if we are not very careful. You think we trust every one of you. Today I want comments Sidiba. Some of you doesn't have the balls. Very soon we're coming down. Let Ifa give the direction for me to come down. I will be coming down very soon. And then I might feel if you follow Yoruba. Most of my politicians here, you think we are joking, we sit outside here. I am telling you, it's just a matter of time. Let Ifa give all the clear. I work with Ifa, I don't work with Bible, and I don't work with Islam. I work with Ifa. Until Ifa says what I will do, then we will know what next to do. Go and report me to the UK government and say I'm doing terrorism. They'll tell you you're a stupid man, you're a stupid woman. It's fighting for your rights. And you should know better. Idiot all over the place. Jebeti reports were took. You think they can do anything. They can't do jack shit. Come back to Nigeria. No, UK created Nigeria from here. I will fight to make sure that we open your ears and disintegrate it from here as well. Bomb bastard. Weak element is Tinubu. How can we say that is the president and then she salute from Ogami Parapata, African Confidential? Two of us fight the Yorubas that keep attacking the Igbos. Not that we are defending the Igbos, but they want to go, let them go. Bomb bastard. Want to play pranky. Shiri. Politicians, we are telling you now, let's sit on the round table and discuss the issue that is affecting each and every one of us. You are saying no. When the right time comes, bomb bastard. Let's listen again to weak element of Tinubu. It's Jagaban. But he cannot do anything. He wants to be the president. You are the president now. You are the president now. You are the president. You are the president. You can give the shot. But I told you from 3 years ago, Sultan of Sokoto is the one in charge of Nigeria. Idiot all over the place. So Tinubu is the president. It's just another figurehead. They are already preparing El Rufai to take over from Tinubu. Let's listen again.
Element in the Yoruba ethnic group to use them to destabilize the people who have built empires like Oyo and other places long before anything. But they are looking for some weak element.
Weak element.
Like Tinubu is a weak element. Nothing is powerful. But weak element in the Yoruba war. These are the weak element they want to use to be able to push the Islamic agenda. People have been telling you that Islamic agenda is a lie. No, it's true. I can tell you that.
Did you hear that? Continue to say Islamic agenda is not true. We have people that are forcing their religion on us. I'm a Yoruba Muslim. I was born as a Muslim. I don't want to live in a country where they are using Sharia. And we live as a fake people.
I was born a Muslim. My people have been Muslim since the 7th century.
Okay, it is King
Madinga. And we have been Muslim. There is nobody in my ethnic group who is Christian. All my people have been Muslim. And I studied Islam in northern Nigeria. And I'm telling you, the agenda is to push that country toward Islamic agenda.
The agenda is to continue to push us. If not, why would Tinubu be granting terrorists to come and live with us in our society? Agenda. Only God knows what Tinubu signed with them before they eventually allow him to become the president. Let's move away from that. Maybe I should remind you of this. Endeavor,
popularly known as Endeavor in Kano State, are here to embrace the amnesty initiative introduced by the Nigeria Police Force in the state. About 3 months ago, the Kano State Police Command invited some identified individuals believed to be behind the escalation of thuggery and other heinous crimes in the state for dialogue. The meeting yielded a positive response as some of the thugs embraced the initiative. Among the 222 repentant thugs, 50 of them drawn from Dala, Fege, Ungugu, Kano Municipal, and Gwali local government area of the state, having completed a 2-month intake training as members of the Nigerian Police Special Constabulary were decorated. They pledged to promote peace in the state and promise not to go back into thuggery.
I am among the 50 people who were trained and absorbed into the Nigerian police force, and I am prepared to play my part to ensure that Kano is peaceful. We will go around the state and continue to preach peace to the people so as to keep the state safe.
While welcoming the repentant thugs into the society, the Commissioner of Police, CP Mohammed Gume, debunked reports making around that the police recruiting thugs as its personnel.
No, they are not thugs.
He says the amnesty initiative is only aimed at sustaining peace in the state.
As of today, the police command has received a total of 222 influential youth and are committed to crime prevention duties with the police to fish out violent criminals among them, notorious thugs popularly known as Endeavor, who over the years engaged in supremacy conflict.
This will not be moved, as we call it. This is happening in Kano.
The governor of the state,
now listen
Abba
to the
Yusuf,
Abba Yusuf,
who gave a rousing welcome to the repentant thugs, urged them to be good ambassadors of the state.
And where they surrendered, they have been subjected to series of reformatory process. They have undergone lectures.
They've undergone lectures. They've become very good people. Okay.
And by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are going
and these are the people we want to live with. And my mother there says, Abosede says, they have been trying it since the time of General Muritala Muhammad. Dash Mayor say, can you imagine calling terrorists a thug? But you now, I am not here to condone crime. Many of you in Yoruba land, many of you in the southeast, the middle belt, you will commit small crime they will forget you in the prison. Even people during the NSAS, some of them are still in the prison from what we are told. As this program is just about 15 minutes away, we've done about 2 hours, 45 minutes. Let's listen to maybe 1 or 2. But the whole reason why we are here is to remind you that the President Bola Tinubu has now given the all clear for more terrorists to be released back in the society. How you feel on that, I don't know, but it's entirely up to you. But remember that even if you say nothing, one day you might be affected directly or indirectly. Let's go and listen to this again.
Your name?
I'm Mr.
Huh?
Mr.
What local government?
Local government.
Where are you from?
I'm from Maite.
Where in Maite? Where are you from originally?
Kaduna State.
From where?
Kaduna State.
Kaduna State.
I'm Alkali Monday by name.
Okay.
Yes, I'm from Kaduna State.
Okay.
I'm living in
With your brother?
Yes.
And you are coming out under what local government?
Lagos Island.
Local government. Do you have a family house in Lagos Island?
Doesn't have to know.
What's your name?
Luka David.
What?
Luka David.
Luka.
David.
Where are you from?
From Kaduna State.
Kaduna State. What local government are you coming out from?
Oshodi.
Who gave you the indigenship certificate?
Doesn't matter. Lieutenant Colonel.
What's your name?
Zakaria Arab.
Where are you from? Kaduna State. Lagos Island. Where did you get the indigenship certificate from?
I
stay with my uncle.
The uncle, talk, please.
Speak up, please.
I'm staying with my uncle, Lieutenant Colonel.
Shogba Yoruba. Shogba Yoruba. Shogba Yoruba. Shogba Yoruba.
I'm sure we all remember.
Shogba Yoruba.
We know we are forgetful people, and I understand. Maybe I should remind you this video that happened, I believe, in Ekiti State. Nígbà tí bọ̀bọ̀ kan wọlé lára àwọn tí wọ́n release náà ló máa fẹ́ jẹ́. I'm sure some of you remember that video.
We have issue at time here. We are able to see one kidnapper this morning. This morning, just now. This
was like some few weeks back, a month rather. Continue to say it's nothing.
Mommy,
exaggerated. Ó wọnú ilé, ó fẹ́ jí ọmọ gbé.
Inú àpò tó gbọ́mọ yẹn sí rèé.
Inú àpò tó gbọ́mọ sí nìyẹn. Ojú tó ka mọ́ kò bá pa ìyá yẹn. Ó ti gbọ́mọ sínú àpò.
Ẹ wo ẹ mú àpò yẹn, ara evidence ni àpò yẹn, ẹ mú àpò yẹn wá, ẹ mú wá. Ẹ lọ fún kó mú dání. Ọ́físà, ẹ jẹ́ kó mú àpò yẹn dání. Ó yá mú àpò yẹn dání fara. Ó ti dá bẹ́ẹ̀ ọ̀sán. Kidnapper ni o, ó ní o, kidnapper. Ní
èrè àwọn àjọ. Happy Sunday, Grandma. So, I don't like showing the children. We all saw that. All this has been going on. It is not today. Happy Sunday. Let's remind you, T.Y. Danjuma again, as we are winding down this part of the program very soon.
In this state is under. There's an attempt at ethnic cleansing in this state
and over riverine of Nigeria.
The riverine state of Nigeria. We must resist it.
We must resist it.
We must stop it.
We have to stop it.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral.
It's okay. Welcome to the program.
They collude.
The military collude. Because we don't know who is who in the uniform.
They collude
with the armed bandits. They kill people. Kill innocent Nigerians.
They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are
still
depending
on the armed forces
to stop the killings,
you will all die one by one. This is where we have come out to say we don't want you to die one by one. So let's read this up quickly, to catch up on what Baba Akintoye is advising President Bola Tinubu. Remember that whatever we do today, future will remember us. We are not here, to scare anybody, but we are here to say that things have gone wrong, things have gone bad in Nigeria. It cannot be rectified. It does not matter how you want to rectify Nigeria. It is just not going to happen. Why then are we forcing it to happen? Oh, Yami Comfort Ologunja. Okay, Mori Walatenko. Probably maybe she just came into the program. Sometimes many of you, I might not see you, but we appreciate you. We love you. And we look forward to one day. Tinubu is part of them now, Benny. He wants to be the president. He's the president. I was watching the wife of Tinubu saying that majority of us that are complaining about Nigeria, we do all kind of manic job in London, in America, in Canada, and yet we cannot do the same job in Nigeria. If we have the same job and I'll be respected, if we have the same job and I'll be given a value system, why not? I can work in a hotel as a kitchen porter, but I do not want to be disrespected because I'm a kitchen porter. If I'm a doctor, I want to be paid, and I want to make sure that the hospital have the necessary equipment from the government because they are government hospital. These are not happening. So Tinubu, Remi Tinubu, sometimes you just have to shut up your dirty stinking. Sometimes some of you just put some rubbish mouth out there because you cannot tell diaspora that are spending billions, up to $40 billion into Nigerian economy, that we are doing many jobs outside. You're a bomb bastard, Olori Buruku woman. In summary, as these words have been written in late February 2024, Nigeria economy has collapsed. Nigerian security has collapsed. Nigerians are living a life of wretched poverty and hunger, a life of fretful insecurity and chaos. For years, important roads are dilapidated for years. Your electricity tariff is going up about 300%. Even the Minister of Power says it is still cheaper than around the world. And he says that, I was telling my wife, when was the last time you switched the freezer in the house? She was surprised. I said, because the Minister of Power in Nigeria say people abroad always, shut the freezer. I don't know whether you do so, but I am not doing that in my house. Yes, we save and we consume power, but I will not be stupid to turn off the freezer because everything inside has frozen. Thank you so much once again. If you're new to the platform, please mindful of your comment. I read your comment. I will curse you. I will curse your father. I will curse your mother. For decades, electricity supply has been fizzling out for years. If Nigerians are given electricity, they will literally pay for it. And they will pay for it as long as the service is there. The service is not there, and you are bringing a lot of bills. And that is not great for so many people. For decades, the quality of education has been failing seriously in all. I know English is not our language. If we are using Yoruba as our language to study, many of you will be well educated. So I will not be sitting here and say to defend English. Don't worry about my own English as well. It is just a borrowed language. Thank you so much, Mr. Fani Kayode. And that is not the FFK. Benny, we only do it when we want to defrost. But I'm talking about deep freezer. I don't even, well, maybe sometimes my wife, once in a while, to batty over freeze. I mean, it's not cheap electricity and gas here as well in UK. I love when I see a helicopter. One day, maybe I'll be able to ride one and fight any security threat on Yoruba land. For decades, thousands of educated Nigerian youth have been fleeing annually to countries around the world. I am not here to tell you what country to go and what country not to go. But according to the UK, we told you that in our program yesterday, there are many black spot countries that the UK government is advising, including Nigeria. Advice against travel to Borno State, Yobe, Adamawa, Gombe. Luckily, Southwest is not there. Advice to travel to Bauchi, Taraba, Kaduna, Katsina, Zamfara, Kano, Jigawa, Sokoto, Niger State, Kogi, Plateau, also Abia, Anambra, Imo State. These are states that the UK government, FCDO have said we should be very, very careful. Well, it's lacking because there's no investment in the education and it is becoming very poor. We hope Senegal will rise up just like many other countries as well in Africa. For decades, thousands of educated Nigerians have been fleeing annually to countries around the world, and those of them who remain in Nigeria have been facing fearful poverty, deprivation, hopelessness, and the incident of suicide has been increasing among them. Though Nigeria is one of the largest producers of petroleum in the world, the price of gasoline has been rising steadily in Nigeria for years. Libya is a very unstable country and many people are still buying petrol on a very, very cheap price. So don't come and say, I know some diaspora say, hey, we buy petrol here, very expensive. UK does not have enough petrol like Nigeria, okay? So don't come and be defending nonsense. Important holders of knowledge of the economy, such as the former governor of Nigerian Central Bank, Charles Soludo, and I believe is the current governor of Anambra State, the new Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, and the new National Security Advisor, Nuru Ribadu, and others, are telling the world that the Nigerian economy were at collapse before President Tinubu took over from Sebaba. Moki brother me, Olawale Alabi. Therefore, the value of the Nigerian currency, the Naira standing at $465 as at June 2023, even though it went up, it's coming down a little bit, but it is still very high in terms of helping the economy. The price of food price have gone up, inflation has gone up, terrible hunger has now gripped the lives of so many Nigerians. Families are now keeping their children away from school because they can't afford the school fees. According to Senator Shehu Sani from the North, recently offered the information that 10,000 schools have closed down in the North because of the insecurity. And that is the same thing we're talking about, that if there's insecurity, why is Tinubu trying to remove the terrorists and bring them back into the society? And an international group called the International Civil Society Organization says that in the first 8 months of President Bola Tinubu, the Fulani terrorists have killed 2,423 people and kidnapped 1,872. On the floor of the Nigerian National Assembly, legislators are bursting into tears as they recount the economic suffering and the drastic insecurity of the people of their constituencies. And many legislators are denouncing the Nigerian presidential system, and they are now calling for its abolition, and many influential Nigerians are publicly advising ordinary Nigerians to buy guns for self-defense. They're even talking about the parliamentary system of government. All these has failed. Mukiyawa Adeola Akimbo Bola Ekabosore to mommy. Mukibugo in White Garment Church, Mukenyi Kerubu, Mukenyi Bubo Elesi Abalaye. In all regions of Nigeria, huge numbers of hungry people are protesting in the streets. Sometimes you say, how our leaders and youth can support the movement for the Yoruba nation, our life will transform rapidly. I'm sure they will do so at some time very soon. Shout out once again to many of you on the transmission. You have about 2 minutes before that program comes to an end there, but you can still join us for the last lap. We've done 3 hours. Wow. Time flies so quick. We can never end the program, there's no doubt. But let me just read this because I tend not to read it quickly. So we're going to end the program. Please join me on the other platform for the final part, which is just less than 10 minutes. Appreciation goes to you all. Thank you so much. To all the Koikimedia backup team and the team that are working around the world, giving us information, we're grateful. Say thank you so much. Araga _2120 say, forget what people say, God will punish them. Definitely the gods of the Yoruba land, whichever one you serve, will punish those that have kept us in this danger. Thank you so much, Bishop Additional. So let's go into this. In the end, the choice now belongs to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu He has the choice. What choice does he have? The choice to decide whether we keep one Nigeria or not. Do I trust him to bring Yoruba Nation? No. Do I trust him? Moki Oduduwa TV, Citizen Ewa. Shout out to you, my brother. Do I trust Tinubu to give us a regional government? No. Do I trust him to bring Nigeria into a restructure and bring down the 1999 constitution? No. I might be wrong in the future, but the future is just around the corner. Tinubu has another 3 years before he comes back. But this is what Baba Akintoye tell me to tell Tinubu. In the choice, in the end, Tinubu has the choice. He stands to earn historical honor and fame like Gorbachev, or historical condemnation, dishonor, and infaming like Milosevic. These two people were running two different parts of the world. Gorbachev was the one in charge of the Soviet Union when it collapsed. History remembered him. Milosevic, Slobodan, Olowa in charge of Yugoslavia. He refused to accept Yugoslavia was due to collapse. Eventually, Yugoslavia collapsed. Eventually, Milosevic was sentenced. Well, it was not sentenced, he was still on trial. He was still on trial during the International Criminal Court, where he eventually died. Yet, Yugoslavia collapsed. So, Owakusawa Tinubu, Ajidagbara Mokinsa, 60 Angel TV, thank you so much, my beautiful mother. If Tinubu refused to accept the breakup, the dissolution of Nigeria, it will still happen. And it can happen within the 3 years, Tinubu and Ibe, if we are really, really serious. Why in the army gear? Why bomb bastard, Omali? Why in army gear? Idiot all over the place. Just come and be writing nonsense here. You don't intimidate in Nigeria, no. We are not against Tinubu, but we are calling him to remember that history will also remember him, either vice versa, like Slobodan, or like Gorbachev. So if Tinubu say, we cannot allow Nigeria to break, let's keep Nigeria together, we can be one unity in Nigeria, we can be stronger as one body, Nigeria will still break. But Tinubu bawa lórí oyè, by the time it goes thus, hey, that will be humanitarian disaster. And whatever happened then, we should understand that Tinubu will be the one. That is if Nigeria goes the M1 route. If it goes through that route where there will be chaos, anarchy, there will be disaster, Tinubu will be the one to be held responsible as the government in charge. At the moment, we are seeing a bit of skirmish fighting within the southeast and the Nigerian military, but not in large scale. It's still like hit and run. But the moment that everybody says enough is enough and we come out on the street, the Yorubas, and the military start attacking us, as an example, that could lead to anarchy and a lot of things can happen very, very fast. Tinubu lo madagu gbele lori o. Because Tinubu has the option to release Nnamdi Kanu, call Baba Akintoye, call Nnamdi Kanu, and let them come and present why they want to go, and let us start coming into a plan to allow a total dissolve of Nigeria without a single bullet. But if Tinubu says, I have the military, about 500,000, that can defend Nigeria. For me, they cannot defend Nigeria because they could not defend the Boko Haram. Listen to this. If Tinubu that cannot protect Nigerians, since it's been in power, I mean, Vanguard gave us 1,900, but another organization gave us 2,000 plus. So let's cap it. 2,000 Nigerians have died in the hands of terrorists. That shows that Tinubu is not capable to protect Nigerians. So what then happened? See, I want to campaign. If they decide that enough is enough, we come out on the street, they bring out the DSS, they bring out the police, and people say, we will not allow police to take anybody from here. It becomes a fight. And don't tell me it cannot happen. We saw what happened during the EndSARS. That was just a small of what happened during the EndSARS. Peter said, Tinubu cannot call anybody. Tinubu loves Nigeria so much. But at some point, he said he didn't love Nigeria. So, anytime I pray the same thing that Allah nije karogun. But the way things are right now, if care is not taken, Dizimar 123, thank you so much. Yami Jadeshola Olagunju, thank you so much. Captain Koiki. I never be captain, no. The moment that we get into that route, it will be very difficult to come back. Things are very, very settled in the southwest. Does not mean it cannot go. Even without Yoruba Nation, there's a lot of people that can come out and fight for their rights because of so many things that is going on in that shithole country called Nigeria. EndSARS was just one out of many. Don't think that things cannot come like that. Anything. And I'm not making this up. It is just that because everybody is not ready yet. Thanks so much, Mr. Sunday Peter. The day that we say enough is enough, that will be the end. Let us say it loud and clear. Tinubu cannot hold Biafra back. Tinubu cannot hold the Yoruba people back. People that wants to go, call them on the round table and let them go. Tinubu le stop it. Stop it. Don't think it can. Stop it. It is beyond him. It is called a movement. The case before ICC has not even come to the forum. When you take a case to the ICC, which is International Criminal Court, another 30 years, they might not look into it. Diplomacy, Mr. Yami Fuluakelobiri, Mr. Koiki, please, case to one ICC. Nibolo de. They've just said we've received it, and that's all. This case doesn't come up like that. ICC stands for International Criminal Court. If anybody is expecting that the case that we filed against Buhari, Buratai, and many of them is going to come up anytime soon, it's not. It is not going to come up anytime soon. These cases can last 20 years. And that is why if we want to go through United Nations, Peter 1498 said, Tinubu don't believe in one Nigeria before power. Now he's a billionaire with a lot of connection, so I don't think someone like him won't love Nigeria. Definitely, you're right. International Criminal Court, which is a very good place to take people to, but it doesn't resolve problems and cases like expected. But it's a good thing that we filed the case against Buhari for the attack and the invasion of Dr. Chief Igbowo's residence on the 1st of July 2021. But if anybody expects that ICC will make a decision in the next 10 years, I might be wrong. We will not get a decision. How do you expect us to get Yoruba Nation? Let's hear from you. Or no, if you have Yoruba Nation. Diplomacy, consultation, yes. Negotiation, oh yes. Pressure, oh yes. countries around the world will not come out and say they are in support of you breaking away from where you are as a country. Anytime I load Instagram, I'm going to have to put out, I want to place something there. Please join me on the other platform, or bear with me for at least the next 10 minutes if I'm still alive. Alive to bring this program to you. Please, I have to cut off because I want to play something on YouTube and I only got to connect it on my speaker. It might be no anytime I load Instagram. Join me on the other platform where we are streaming from. There's something I listened from a guy on YouTube. Great presentation, great analysis about Nigeria. How do you expect Yoruba to exit Nigeria? Let's read from you. About in the comment section. Ọ̀nà wo lẹ fi pa máa fi gba Yoruba nation? Ọ̀nà wo la máa fi gbà? Kò ń ṣe pé ìjọ wo la fẹ́ gbà ni mò ń sọ o. Ìyẹn kù sọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, kù sọ́wọ́ Elédùmarè. But ọ̀nà wo la fẹ́ fi gbà? Ọ̀nà wo la máa fi gba Yoruba nation? Ọ̀nà wo la fẹ́ fi gbà? Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí ètò pẹ̀lú wa. Let me bring this up quickly. It's a beautiful weather, a bit of wind, but it's okay. This is what we're used to. And to bash at the city abroad, I feel it too púpọ̀ because you're coming from a hot weather. Tawa na bawa sile, the same thing. We always, a lot of people are saying M1 is the only solution. Yeah, but say they need bass boots. A lot of people don't want to hear that too. I want your big bug bass boots. Yeah. There's a guy that I watched his program and I posted it on Twitter.
Standing outside the UK House of Parliament, and we're bringing with us tonight the voices of over 3.
Everybody, Peter Zion, come.
So, the title, this was 1 month ago. Moko stumbled across it. Egbomi Arole, Oduduwa Moki Shegun as well, and the rest of you. The title is Nigeria After America. Babami Moses said Yoruba nation will be surfacing either by pressure or negotiation. With what is on ground, all these daredevil cabal have no hope. Many people are saying M1. It has to be a lot of pressure. And we can keep that pressure right now with the President Bola Tinubu, not literally a confrontation pressure, but a pressure that we want to go. And if Tinubu becomes confrontation to us, then things could become, like that, easily. Baba Madebisi Bobo is by fighting. There will be more negotiation with countries around the world. We want to negotiate with African countries to look into why the Yoruba people wants to go. But it takes a lot of time because they will be asking questions. Even they'll be trying to convince you to stay together. I'm not joking. Countries will be telling you to stay together. That is of the best interest for us to stay together than to come apart. And I'm not making this up. Countries will be telling you to stay together where you are better off to stay together. So, in case you are looking, wait, this is the guy, he's a very good analysis he gave. So, let me first tell you the write-up. Today's entry into our post-American series is a country with complex political, economic, and security landscape. Nigeria is a political, economic, and security landscape. Very, very complex political situation. There's no way you can defeat this evil monster politician. There's no way. Already they have money. I saw Rauf Aregbesola yesterday. I saw Sanwo-Olu with his daughter's wedding. I saw all these governors. They've become very fat, big. Lori Intigbogbo Johnny. They will tell you they are trying to fix Nigeria. But we know that they're not fixing Nigeria because Nigeria is not fixing us. Okay, what impact has Nigeria have on your life in the last 8 years of Buhari? And please be honest. Impact will I read látara pé Buhari ṣe president for 8 years. Be honest. What is the impact? As you, diaspora, and you at home, put it in the comment section. Let's listen to this guy.
Everybody, Peter Zion coming to you from very snowy Colorado. Already 10 inches in and another 6 to go. Know what I'm doing tomorrow. Anywho, this is the latest in our post-American series, and today we're going to talk specifically about a country that a number of people have written in, and that is Nigeria. So what makes a Nigeria tick? This is a country that is a creation of the post-World War II strategic order and took a few pages.
I love that point. Nigeria was created during the post-World War II. Nigeria is a project, but Nigerians are trying to work aligned with the project that doesn't work with 250 ethnic groups. But we're saying, no, don't. The unity, the bigger we are, the better. the big, and Lithuania is 3 million. 2 times is Ogun State. So I'll be pausing because I don't own the video. So don't expect me to play it all the way through. So that one more back of inch analysis, even if they want to take it out later, that'll be fine. So I'm going to rewind it again because I know sometimes Buhari was a disaster. He has taken Nigeria back by 50 years. Jim Razak said the only impact Nigeria leave in the life of the people is frustration and confusion. That is a very powerful one. Frustration and confusion. Let's listen to the guy again.
Everybody, Peter Zion coming to you from very snowy Colorado. Already 10 inches in and another 6 to go. Know what I'm doing tomorrow. Anywho, this is the latest in our post-American series, and today we're going to talk specifically about a country that a number of people have written in, and that is Nigeria. So what makes Nigeria tick? This is a country that is a creation of the post-World War II strategic order and took a few pages from the post-Westphalian system of nation-states. In essence, what that means is it's a little bit like the settler societies of the United States, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, in that it's a polyglot group. Lots of different ethnic groups, each of which have a very clear homeland, but they've been lumped together into a single political authority. Now, in a lot of places where some version like this happened because of...
Did you hear that? How many people don't work on? So let me first see if everybody's following. I don't mind rewinding back again. I mean, we've just listened to the first 50 minutes, and in the first 50 minutes, this guy have explained everything that we have been talking about in the last 3 years. I want to see whether you are listening to it. I know the speaker is on, and I was very quiet. I know there's a lot of noise at the background. I mean, I will rewind it back, even if it's the first 15 minutes. How many people? I'm going to rewind it again, and we start again in a minute. A country that was put together just after the Second World War. Lẹ́yìn ogun World War II ni wọ́n ṣe gbé ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà síta. Kò ń ṣe Lugard ló prepare Nigeria. Lugard court ló ṣe finishing touch fún ni because Lugard was working as part of the game. Okay, somebody said I might be wrong. Charles Taylor's case took less than 2 years. Taylor has been jailed for 12 years. So you are saying that we are likely to get case of ICC proper very soon. That's fine. I'll be happy if that happened so that we can jail Buhari and Buratai for the invasion of Igboho's house. But let's remind us that we have submitted the case since 2021, 22, 23, 24, 3 years. So we will come back and let us know, okay, this is telling me that my battery is now very low. So I think we've done 3 hours, and I think I should wind it down. But let's listen to the 50 minutes again before we go. Because phone is suffering, the battery is low, and I need to go now. So let's listen
Everybody,
again.
Peter Zion coming to you from very snowy Colorado. Already 10 inches in and another 6 to go. You know what I'm doing tomorrow. Anywho, this is the latest in our post-American series, and today we're going to talk specifically about a country that a number of people have written in, and that is Nigeria. So what makes a Nigeria tick? This is a country that is a creation of the post-World War II strategic order and took a few pages from the post-Westphalian system of nation-states. In essence, what that means is it's a little bit like the settler societies of the United States, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, in that it's a polyglot group. Lots of different ethnic groups, each of which have a very clear homeland, but they've been lumped together into a single political authority. Now, in a lot of places where some version like this happened because of colonialism, and you can make that argument for Nigeria as well, it has gone very, very badly. With lots and lots of civil wars, and Nigeria is no exception. They had the Biafran War shortly after independence in the 60s, and it was one of the most disastrous wars that we've seen on the African continent. But in its after...
Are you listening? Oyebolo's analysis, thank you so much. You're right, Citizen. Now I say, Lugard was just following the orders from the West. So this man is giving, and you can check him out on YouTube, Zeiham. I don't even know what I was doing yesterday. This just popped up. You can check him out, Zeihan, on geopolitics, with about 757,000 followers. This video has been watched more than 433,000 times, with over 2.2K comments. And I've read some of the comments. Many still believe that there's one Nigeria. So don't think that Yoruba Nation, many people think that one Bowa. No, there are millions of Yoruba people that still want to keep Nigeria. How do we change the narrative? This is where we have to keep the push and the message online and offline. There's no substantial or capital development project across the Southwest since this political dispensation since 1999. Only the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway have taken over 20 years. That for me is a fraud. But when we sit here and say it is not working, many of you are always in the argue that it's work. Mukia Baba Lima, how you doing, sir? So let's listen again to this man. This man did, this whole video is 9 minutes, 19 seconds, and he was able to give us a clear picture of Nigeria that you want to die for. The Nigeria that was created after the Second World War. The Nigeria where 250 ethnic groups were kept together and you expect it to work. Let's listen again. And as usual, I will rewind it again because I want you to get the message. Listen to it again.
Everybody, Peter Zion coming to you from very snowy Colorado. Already 10 inches in and another 6 to go. You know what I'm doing tomorrow. Anywho, this is the latest in our post-American series, and today we're going to talk specifically about a country that a number of people have written in, and that is Nigeria. So what makes a Nigeria tick? This is a country that is a creation of the post-World War II strategic order and a few pages from the post-Westphalian system of nation-states. In essence, what that means is it's a little bit like the settler societies of the United States, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, in that it's a polyglot group. Lots of different ethnic groups, each of which have a very clear homeland, but they've been lumped together into a single political authority. Now, in a lot of places where some version like this happened because of colonialism, and you can make that argument for Nigeria as well, it has gone very, very badly, with lots and lots of civil wars, and Nigeria is no exception. They had the Biafran War shortly after independence in the 60s, and it was one of the most disastrous wars that we've seen on the African continent. But in its aftermath, things went an unexpected direction. Instead of the victors trying to wipe out the Biafrans, they were included into a transition into democracy. And while it's not something that we would recognize in the United States as democratic, what they do is they rotate the presidency among the various ethnic groups in the other regions. And then within each of those regions, there's actually competition within the ruling party to decide.
We're standing outside the UK House of Parliament, and we're bringing with us tonight the voices of
and then within each of those regions, there's actually competition within the ruling party to decide who is going to be the candidate. So as a rule, and I'm vastly oversimplifying a very messy situation here, as a rule, the president is selected at the primary level, basically. And while this doesn't necessarily generate the most creative or competent leadership, it has kept the peace and has kept Nigeria in one piece as well, which is more than you can say for a lot of the other post-colonial countries. I'm thinking Congo here, Angola, both have either been war-racked or chaotic or both. Now, the con of this strategy is if you are of an ethnic group that doesn't hold the presidency at a time, you have to basically be paid to not protest or riot or launch a war. And that's where the oil comes in. Nigeria is the continent's largest oil producer, and most folks say that if civil unrest could be tamped down and a degree of competence could be injected into the system, well, then they could probably be producing 5-6 million barrels a day without too much of a challenge. And instead, it's been pretty much less than 3 for the last 20-30 years. Basically, whoever sits in the big chair directs where the oil funds go. He takes a cut of it himself, it's always a he, and the rest is used to buy off the other minorities to limit their willingness to cause chaos, which of course encourages some of the more militant-minded of those groups to deliberately cause chaos in order to get a better cash settlement. And under the globalized order, this has not been a hugely successful system from an economic point of view, because it means that people actually have a vested interest in attacking the oil patrimony in order to get a slice of the oil patrimony. And that means that the oil patrimony has probably been about 1/3 to 1/4 as large as it actually should have been under normal circumstances. But hey, that's what happens with a political system like this. Now, that's under the globalized order where no one...
It's not my video, so I would allow you to go and watch the rest. The link is already shared on the YouTube channel right now. I'm also going to put it on my community. I'm not going to put it on my Facebook because cleansing on the Facebook, but on the YouTube channel, on my community, if you go there right now, I've posted it there. If you go on the Twitter, which is called X now, you will find the link. Go and listen to it. Let's read some of the comments that has come out from this particular video that has generated over 2.2K. Over 400,000 people have watched it. Let me read some of the comments out before we bring the program to an end. This one says, I am a Nigerian, and if I got anything from this video, it is a fact that we need to stand up for ourselves and change our situation. The fact that we have enough resources to make our lives better, but poor management. The fact that we need people who are genuinely ready to sacrifice their lives for the truth and for a better Nigeria. Are you listening to people? They are looking for people to sacrifice, as if our father, our mother, our great-grandfather, our great-grandmother have not sacrificed enough for Nigeria. Did you see the mindset of many Nigerians? Oh, we are still looking for people that will be truthful to sacrifice their lives for Nigeria. The fact that this is not Nigerian problem, but the Nigerian problem. May God bless Nigeria with reformers in coming years. This is what people are typing. 17 replies. Let's see what people are saying on those replies. So Yoruba nation, we are wasting our time. Because there are millions of people that disagree with what we are saying because they want to reform Nigeria, like this one. So let's listen. Let's read some of the comments. Thank you. It is us against them. This one say, us against an old system of ingrained political patronage, corruption, mismanagement, tribalism, nepotism, lawlessness, and a tolerance for mediocre leadership. You have a real insight. This one say, your mindset is what generates militancy. You want to negotiate better allocations to go to school, be competent, take up position in these companies and stop recycling this Sarawiwa mentality. This one say, it is not deep, brother. With what you have said, I am not sure you are a Nigerian. But what exactly is the problem with Sarawiwa mentality? It is easier said than done, brother. Blood must be shed, but blood shall not be want to be shed. This one went further. Nigeria is a way beyond what you guys see. That is why you still crave for a better Nigeria. Nigeria can never and will never work. So this one was point blank. This one say, it is not Nigeria problem. The West so educated you in your own country. Common sense tells me our leaders won't take our money abroad if the West were really anti-corrupt. Sacrifice lives. This one say, you don't have to worry. Nature, God, the universe, however you want to classify it, we change it in your favor. The West reign is almost done. Keep watch and prepare to change and adapt to a new change. There's a time and season for everything. And the last one, the last word is for you and for Nigerians in the mighty name of Jesus. This is what people are saying. So let's look at some of the other comments. This one says, as a foreigner living in Nigeria, this was really interesting. I desperately want more for this beautiful country, its people, particularly the children. It is so sad to see the widespread normalized corruption and the pessimist outlook of most citizens. There's a massive amount of untapped potential here. I hope and pray for change. I won't read all the replies there. This one say, I stayed in Nigeria when I was about 2 to 4 years old in the mid and the late 1960s, just before the Biafran War in the mid-late 1960s. When my father was teaching high school science there in Port Harcourt. I am an American. My sister was born in Nigeria, as fate would have it. The Biafran Civil War, which roughly speaking Peter, the northern Muslim versus the Christian, was a very bloody affair. As civil wars almost always are, my mother, sister, and I were evacuated by helicopter in 1967. Oh my God. Hey, Montombo, did you see what I'm saying? In 1967, this person said the sister was born in Nigeria. They were living in Port Harcourt. As soon as there's gas boss, America brought helicopter to evacuate them. They did not say because they were part of Nigeria anymore. They did not even say one of them was born in Nigeria. You can see the hypocrisy of the West against us. So if you think that they are going to do anything, they are not going to do any jack. It is entirely up to us to do what is needful. Let me read that again. Arábìnrin sọ pé, my mother and sister were evacuated by helicopter in the 1967 during the Biafra War. My dad was forced to man a wireless armed radio for which he could have been shot on sight. After months, he too left. He refused to talk about his experience. I have a fond memories about Nigeria, a host of wonderful photos showing the lily white to me. I am 100% Norwegian, so I stood out. Running around with my Nigerian friends, we were exploring the jungle, trees, mangrove swamps, and rivers. This is the most optimistic take I have ever seen on Nigeria. I am perplexed. I only come across this yesterday myself. I have to go now. Thank you so much for being part of the program. Let us wake up. Nobody's coming to help you. We have to help ourselves. This is how far we can go on the Sunday broadcast. We hope the week will be a great one for us. Mukiawa Abisola Bankole George. If I haven't mentioned your name, don't be upset. It's just that probably we missed it along the line. I'm not going to hold back before I go say, there is no other political figures or names since the generation of Baba Ulawo. No other political names are top Baba Ulawo. No other policies since then that supersede Baba Ulawo. Political ideology. What a nonsense so-called political elite. Sanwo-Olu was doing wedding for the daughter yesterday. I saw all the criminal politicians there. Just as I saw Rauf Aregbesola, the one that destroyed Osun State. And from what I'm told, he has a lot of petrol stations somewhere in Lagos and all over part of Nigeria. Continue to defend your criminal politicians. One day you will wake up from your slumber as I leave you again today. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, one out of the many innocent Yoruba people that say enough is enough. It is time that we exit the shithole country called Nigeria. Nigeria will never work. If you like, go on spiritual realm and pray for Nigeria. The end of Nigeria is what we are saying. When it is completely going to finally come to an end is what nobody knows. I don't have a date, I don't have a time, but what I can say to every single one of us is Nigeria is coming towards the end of it. Let's listen to this, and after that I play the anthem. These are the Nigerians now saying maybe we should fight war that I was saying we shouldn't fight, or the other way around 3 years ago.
Báàgì méjì 500 kí ló tún ṣẹlẹ̀ èwo ló tún ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí kí ló tún kọ pure water omi tá fi ń dáná omi tá fi ń dáná kí ló dé pé gbogbo nǹkan báyìí ìnira ti pọ̀ jù Lagos State yìí kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà tẹ́ ń ta pure water láti inú mọ́tò méjì 500 méjì báàgì méjì 500 láti inú mọ́tò àwọn tó máa tún tà kọ́lé ló máa tà kí ló dé pé ìnira á pọ̀ jù ní Nàìjíríà ìnira ti pọ̀ jù. Àtìgbà tí Buhari ti bọ́lẹ̀ báyìí ni Buhari ti gbé lọ́ọ̀fù ló ti gbé ìfẹ́ lọ kò sífẹ̀ẹ́ mọ́ ìnílẹ̀ ayé ti pọ̀ ju epo wọn àsọ̀rọ̀ gàrí wọn àsọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo nǹkan wọn àsọ̀rọ̀ ṣé pure water omi tá a mu lẹ́tún jẹ́ kó wọ́n omi jọ́sọ̀ omi tọ́lọ́run dà tó ń ṣe pé bóyá pé kínní òun lẹ́tún jẹ́ kó wọ́n níbo la ń lọ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà níbo la ń lọ báyìí níbo la ń lọ tó bá yẹ pé ogun la máa jà tí gbogbo wèrè yìí máa fi solve tó bá yẹ pé ogun la máa jà tí gbogbo ìyà tí àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù ń jẹ yìí táàfin ní jẹ mọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká kúkú jagun ẹ tó bá máa kú kó kú ẹ tó bá máa yè kó yè ìnira àtẹ́ni wọn lára yóò ti pọ̀ jù ẹ̀yin nìkan lè gbádùn kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gan ṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ gbé wáyé wọlé síbẹ̀ ni. Why we stop to be like this? Nàìjíríà sì máa dùn únjẹ mi Nàìjíríà ìròsùn ìtìjọ́ ló máa tó dùn. ẹ̀yin sì
I'm sure some of you remember that. And if you're still one of those for restructure, listen to this.
Very clear. We made a declaration saying that it's too late for restructuring in Nigeria. You will remember in 1962, there was a massive problem in Nigeria when Awolowo was arrested. Our people talked to us. There was crisis for over 4 years that led to the coup. There was a Yoruba meeting of elders called the Yoruba Leaders of Thought. We relented. The thing continued. Yoruba has continued to lose ground since that time. In 1993, there was the annulment of the June 12 election. Shiju Ade, the former Oni, spoke and said Yoruba should go ahead and conduct an election. We did. It led to nothing. The same thing happened in 1998, just before the handover to the democratic elected government. Yoruba did not want to go for anything like Nigeria again. But then it failed. Look at where we are. Yoruba has been losing ground since 1914. And we are just tired. We are not for restructuring. It's too late for restructuring in Nigeria. It's too late for sovereign national conference. It's too late for resource control. What we want now is Oduduwa Republic. And we are very categorical about that. We have made that very clear. We have made declarations. And we are very serious about our demands. Every region just go to its own tent. Yoruba wants to be on its own because the problem that Yoruba has is Nigeria. Nigeria is the problem, is the impediment to Yoruba development. Is the impediment to Yoruba development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1960, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The patience of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end.
Many people do not accept that. Continue to abuse me. Continue to call me names. This will be one day. Some of you will be grateful that we came out at the right time to demand for this Yoruba nation. And shout out to everyone. Bye for now.
Omega.
Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the evening, and I would also be enjoying the rest of the evening as well. As I make myself back into my territory, my base, I say thank you so much for being part of the movement today. Yoruba people will be free of bondage of Nigeria. I'm still going to be spending my little time here, so that's why. But I got to go now because this is not the time for meditation. Yoruba nation no going back. Olóyè, mo dúró tí ẹ tán. Bàbá Akíntóyè, Ọ̀túnba Adémọ́lá, mo dúró tí gbogbo yín. Yoruba people, I am your last man standing, and I'll be back again during the week. Shout out to you, this is my 123. Love you all. Bye for now. Bye for now.